A journey that no one expected, starting from a reunion of old friends, resulting in the fall of a nation. History runs in circles, but to break the cycle, it's simply unheard of. The journey to Astera.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope everybody is having an awesome night so far. We're waiting on GoHex to get in, but while he's coming in and getting everything started, I'm going to go ahead and start introducing everybody. Real quick before I do that, I want to say thank you to every single person that has come to support our stream. There's been a ton of people coming in and watching the entire story from start to finish. Super impressed with you guys, and I'm really glad you guys like it. And you can find all of the VODs on YouTube if you search HoloLock. All the VODs are available from episode 1 if you want to get caught up, and if you're new, welcome. And I'm super glad you guys are here, and I'm grateful for all of you, and so is the rest of the guys. But enough of that. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce everybody. We have Ming the Merciless is our intrepid dungeon master. We have Turok Stoneskin, played by Andrew Overmeyer. We have Zane Corvus, played by Aaron Stanley. I was just kidding. I was trying to look at your face.
Wow.
All I saw was Zane, so I'm sorry, I got mixed up. But no, we have Zane Corvus, played by the beloved Aaron Stanley, and
nice recovery.
He has yet to make it in. But we have there he is right there, Lons Lebec, played by GoHex / Zach Bellard, and I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to Ming, and he'll take over from there and give you guys a recap. Ming, what's up?
Oh, my head fell off, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
We kind of can. Yeah.
Huh?
Huh? How about now?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm just kidding.
Good. Yeah, no. Yes, last week, our heroes actually managed to get all the way from out from underneath of the city of Maygrove all the way to Mudan. Well, they managed to get there. They had a nice little tussle when they got there, crashing out of the sky from the hot air balloon. And now they're going to be sitting in Madun, waiting for Theo to arrive. And while they're there, we're going to learn a little bit about our heroes. So let's hear some of the ghosts of Trony Vale. Gentlemen, you are inside of Theo's Tavern. Tavern? Yes, it's
Theo's Tavern.
It's that kind of day.
Man, you lost your head.
Welcome to Theo's Tavern.
I haven't quite got it screwed back on.
The
right.
Darewolf's win.
The Darewolf's win, yes.
Sorry. Okay.
Hi, I'm Ming, and my fellow friends are merciless as well. So
It's all out of love, brother. It's all out of love.
All my friends are heathens.
it's the way I love them.
Ah, man.
You'll
Okay,
have
so
to
we are
forgive me.
here, and we are in Theo's Tavern, the Werewolf's Den.
The
right?
Werewolf's Den. And if my temperamental electronics will cooperate in just a moment, you'll see what the inside of the the werewolf's den actually looks like. I know it's hard to tell what my expressions are, but yeah, this is frustrating.
Yeah, I can believe it. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hey now. I already took my head off and put it back on. That didn't work. Really? Yeah, we're doing this today. Really? Okay. Well, give me just a moment here. You're gonna lose visual of the bobbing head for a moment.
Where'd he go?
Oh, now you want to do it.
This is the perfect kind of day, isn't it?
This is the werewolf's den.
We're glad to have you here, man. This is just great.
Oh man,
It's been such a wonderful day too.
everybody.
Let's continue it.
I'm sure everybody at home is gonna love this. It's about to get clipped to shit. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh man. So if you notice in the top left corner, you guys are sitting at a table in a very private room.
Yeah,
Now,
I see that.
inside the tavern, you can see that there are many people inside of the tavern. And I am using the wrong screen to move that. We're going to send one of the waitstaff in to take care of orders and drinks. And while you guys are here, feel free to talk about whatever you feel you need to discuss for the moment. Place your orders with the waiter, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
I'm gonna roll for turn order, kind of.
Yes, definitely give me your roll orders. Ventus, you are 1, Turok 2, Zane 3, Lons 4. Give me your rolls.
7.
Okay.
Well, 7 as well.
Okay, you guys
11.
need to roll again. 11
10.
and 10.
18.
11.
All right. Lons gets to go first.
Oh, he rolled a 20.
18.
That's what I rolled. That's what I rolled.
No,
Yeah, but your
You both
original
rolled
was a 7.
No,
You
I
and
was-
Turok.
yeah, you.
I'm saying I didn't know he rolled an 18.
Yeah, you and Turok both rolled 7, so I had you roll again to determine which one of you two was going to go first as opposed to the other.
Okay, I understand now.
All right, Lons, take it away.
All right, so is our server lady here?
Yes. She's not very ladylike. She's very masculine. His name is Marcus.
All right, Marcus, I'll take your strongest lager, please.
All right, and for the bull?
Same. And what do you have food-wise? What's your food menu look like?
Right now, we only have the stew available. We're still waiting on a shipment to come in this evening so that we can actually have the big meals for tomorrow.
Stew. What is it? Is it beef stew?
It is a beef stew. We can do just vegetables.
I look really long at Turok.
Mic check.
Yeah, grab me a bowl of stew as well.
With or without the beef?
It's gonna sound like cannibalism, but with the beef.
All right. And for the young adventurer?
I believe that I'm gonna have a tall glass of water.
So poison for the youngling, and for the old man with the fake arm.
How does he even know that my arm's fake?
Did you say poison?
You're drinking water in a tavern, son.
I'll take a lager.
Smart man.
Let's see, you are legal drinking age, basically. That's what.
Oh, thank God. I was concerned. He has them long, flowing locks. I couldn't tell.
Marcus, if you don't mind, my friend, I'm gonna get a whiskey and just a little bit of bread if you got it.
Absolutely. You wouldn't happen to be Zane Corvus, would you?
Yeah, that's me.
The Sanguine Sage. That's how everybody knows you, isn't it?
You could say that, yeah.
If you don't mind, I do have some patrons out in the main floor that have actually been talking about things that they've heard about you. They would love to meet you if you don't mind having an audience.
If you can give me a little bit, I'll probably go out and say hey to him in a minute.
Okay, when you're ready, you let me know and I will take you to their table.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, and Marcus heads on out so that you guys can have your private discussion. He throws a few logs on the fire next to the fire pit there. Walks out of the room and heads on out to the bar. All right, Lons, is there anything else that you wanted to do before we move to Turok?
Nope.
Turok, your turn. You're good.
She'll be Ventus. He rolled higher than me, actually.
Oh, you're right, Ventus. I apologize.
Well, I'm kind of
Actually, no. No, it's Zane.
No.
I skipped Zane. I told you my head wasn't screwed on all the way.
Yeah, well, it's kind of floaty, so I can understand. No,
There's no clear marker.
Zane's gonna kind of sit there for a minute and kind of be looking off into, actually gonna be staring off into the fireplace and watching the fire crackle for a couple seconds, and then something's gonna hit him just out of nowhere. He's gonna be like, "Wait a minute, didn't we have a pilot?"
Oh, you're right.
Like, we walked like the whole rest of the way here and completely forgot about our pilot buddy. Garrus, wasn't his name?
I believe so.
Did he burn up in the crash?
I
I
never
don't
saw
think
him
so.
again. Like, I didn't even realize like anything happened. It's crazy trying to figure. Do we know anything about this? Like, what happened to him, or?
No, you guys kind of did your thing and just kept on going.
Typical us.
Man, kind of want to send somebody to go check on him now.
Jeez, we're dicks.
A little bit.
I feel a little bad about that, but at the same time, I mean, like, I guess it's either he's okay or he wasn't, and because I mean, it's not like he made his presence known or anything either. Not exactly like he helped us out in the fight, did he? No.
Well, there are at least 4 main characters in the thing, so at least we survived. That's all that matters.
Good fourth wall break. Good fourth wall break. If you had to break a fourth wall, that's a good place to do it.
If you got a closer look at him, you'd know he never fought a day in his life. So
Maybe he's just a dang good pilot.
Yep, pilot us right into the ground.
I mean, when the stuff stops working.
He was kind of big for a gnome, to be honest.
right?
Little chubby, yeah.
I mean, I don't think he ever left the airship to begin with. Well, now he kind of has to.
He'll be fine. He looks like a rock.
Yeah,
I'll
a
let-
little bit.
I'll let Bruta know as soon as I get a chance.
Speaking of rocks, remember whenever Turok stuck his own hand with his own horn? Don't remember that?
I kind of recall that a little bit, yeah.
Don't remind me.
I have to remind you, man. I have to let you know how great you are.
You don't remember when I crashed through those 3 walls in the aqueducts?
No, I don't remember seeing that actually. I seem to remember rolling a 2 on my perception.
But
that was a Bruta. That's how you say her name.
Bruta.
Yeah.
She was kind of impressive. She kind of bust up on the battlefield.
That's who I was learning from for a while.
Who, Bruta?
Yeah.
Well, damn, man, if that's what you aspire to be, good luck. That woman just charged in and just whooped some serious ass.
She has no fear. And she don't care about nobody's shit.
Yeah, for real. Every time that I've ever seen her fight, she's always just pretty much taken over the field.
Yep.
She was always really good whenever she did crowd control.
Okay, while you guys are having your conversation, Marcus walks back in, sets down all your drinks. So there's going to be a few more minutes before I can bring the stew. It's almost ready.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Marcus.
Anytime, gentlemen. And he leaves. Pardon me. And let's hop on over to Ventus.
Okay, so out of character, what do I see looking around?
4 empty tables, a doorway, and a fireplace with the logs already lit.
Did I see anything in particular walking in, or?
When you initially walked inside, you did notice that there was a room immediately to the right of the entrance. You saw that there were a decent number of patrons already inside. You could tell that it was just starting to get picked up. It looked like a lot of people just came in from some sort of a battle. A little bit of a mixture of humans and tieflings, or excuse me, halflings. There is, you did see another another door a little bit further up from where you guys came in at. It looked like it was closed. You're not really sure what's on the other side of that door. But you could also see a hearth fire on the opposite end of the entrance from where you came in. As you guys entered into this particular room off to the right, you were able to see the curved bar top with almost every seat taken, both bartenders there. You've seen all of the servers moving across the floor, taking care of the tables that are currently occupied.
So it's pretty busy.
For the moment, yes.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to do. I take a sip of my lager, kind of shake my head because it's a little stouter than anything that I've tasted lately. I suppose this beats poison. But I have to comment about this. Theo's, is it me or is Theo's bar a lot nicer here than the one at home? Like, did anybody else notice this? This is my first time here. I honestly expected this to look very similar to the one back home, but this is like, it's like he spent all his money here and then just kind of put stuff together back home. So I was
He's been here for a while.
How long has he been here?
Whenever I was last here, he's been here, he's been involved with the town for probably a little over a decade. And last time I was here, he was already pretty well established. Had a lot going on for him, actually, until the attack happened.
Well, it's kind of impressive, to be honest.
I'm surprised he got it back up and running this quick.
Did something happen?
Well, I mean, pretty much most of the main square was taken out after the first mortar attacks.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty intense.
It's crazy. I feel like it's just not what I expected. Like, so far our entire journey has just been a lot of things that I just didn't expect to see. Uh, and we kind of just started. I wonder, I wonder how it's gonna, I wonder how it's gonna turn out for everybody back home. I really hope everybody's okay. I hope Father's okay. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. Have you heard anything, Zane?
Nah, we're still kind of honestly, we're still kind of just waiting on everything to kind of cool down a little bit, I suppose. It's been a bit of a rough trip.
As I take my logger and kind of swish it around for a sec and look down at it, take a sip. You know, it kind of grows on you. I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of got a rich aftertaste. I can understand why Theo would open a tavern. Now this is actually pretty good. Turok, how's your hand?
Yeah, Turok. How's your hand?
Better.
We haven't healed yet.
Turok actually is your go right now too, so take it over from here.
It's looking better, you know, as time goes on, but it'll be fine. It'll be good. Hopefully back to 100% soon. It's still mostly close it.
Well, you ought to let Zane do something about that. Remember when you broke my arm? It's like it never happened. He's really a man of his craft.
Oh, speaking of your arm, want to go for round 3?
You know what?
How
I'm
about
down.
don't?
Let's do this.
No.
I'd pay to
No.
see that.
Marcus has walked back into the room, hears this, and says, should I feed the cannibal before or after the match?
Before, definitely before.
As he sets the stew down in front of you.
Thank you, sir.
Walks around to the other side over to you, Lavelle, and sets one down in front of you as well.
I'm just gonna look at Zane and just wink at him.
Zane, he walks over and sets the loaf down in front of you and puts an extra shot of whiskey next to you as well, and he says this one's on the house.
Thank you, I appreciate it. If you want to, man, I actually go ahead and pull out a couple of gold coins and I hand them to him like I'm just go ahead and bring the bottle.
Absolutely.
I have a feeling it's going to be that kind of night.
Give me a few minutes. I need to make some quick rounds around the main floor, and I'll be back with a fresh, unopened bottle for you. You can even break the seal.
Appreciate it.
I look at Turok and then I say, without breaking eye contact, I say, Zane, handle my lightweight, and then I get up and start stretching my legs and start to walk out the door.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Did
He
finish his
always
water?
goes on very enthusiastic walks.
Yes, he does. Back to
I
the
remember
top of
my
the
favorite.
order here.
Did he
Lons.
finish his lager?
No.
I brought it with
Did you
me.
take? Took it with
Okay.
you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Damn.
All right, Lons, we're back to you.
Turok, I gotta ask, what's with the mechanical horn? What does it actually do for you?
That is a long story. Short version, I was in the Black Campaign, where basically, have you heard of the night that the Paladins fell?
I have.
I was one of those Paladins in that night, and in that fight, and well, it didn't end well. And part of that resulted in me losing half of my horn. I pretty much walked around with half horn with the shards still, like point bits, didn't file it down to nothing, just had no pride in myself or anything. It was bad headspace for me until I wandered into Maygrove, ran into Ventus. He said something about it, said that he knew somebody who could make a prosthetic horn. I said, sure, and well, he led me to Zane. Zane made me the prosthetic, and just kept going back and staying friends with Ventus, and then just grew from there.
It's really shiny, man. Can I touch it?
Go for it.
I gradually touch his horn and I pet it. Like, it's real nice.
Oh yeah, stroke the shaft.
I look at Zane and said, "This is your work?"
Yeah, man.
Look, man, I might need you to do some work for me later. We're just gonna have to talk in private.
Yeah. I mean, that's doable.
20 out of 10 would recommend.
All right. Zane.
Well, I'm kind of grabbing that whiskey, the glass I have in front of me, and I got the shot right there, and I just go ahead and take the shot, and I go ahead and I flip that up and shoot that down. Grab the knife that's right there with the loaf of bread and start cutting into it. And I look at Lawns and I'm like, so why blue?
Whenever I was, my family was actually in a slave encampment. We did a lot of mining for minerals and things of that nature. And there's a very beautiful colored gem that we came across very, very seldom. It was very rare. It's kind of a turquoise, almost very, very dark blue. And whenever I managed to escape that encampment, in order to hide myself from anybody that may come looking after me, I went ahead and dyed my hair that color. And I stayed in hiding ever since.
Huh. So that was right around the time of
Did he go mute or just forget what he was going to say?
Probably both.
I don't hear him at all.
Uh-oh. We lost you, Zane.
Zane, you all right, buddy?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. And for this interlude, the next form of entertainment. Ah.
Everybody's dying.
Hey, I'm fine.
You
I
talk
don't know
about a
if the world's
cliffhanger.
Yeah, dude, I'm like,
that was right around the time that.
what? I'm literally on the
Time up.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat, like.
I'm sitting right next to him. He's just sitting there going, like mid-sentence. You see the dot in midair, like just.
Just to calm the viewers, nothing happened to Zane. We just lost his sound.
Okay. Theo said he drank too much.
I'm
What,
sorry.
shot?
Hey, he's back!
Where did y'all lose me?
Right
that
about
was
the
right
time.
around the time of.
Yeah.
Oh,
You left us on a real nail biter there, okay?
right about the time. Well, no, I was just saying that was right about the time of Trony Vale and that whole situation that happened. But it was a little bit
Really?
before. And then...
God
Yeah.
damn.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I was trying to think.
Dude, I was like, these
And-
cliffhangers.
Dun, 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 dun.
Back to back nail biters.
What?
No, I was just saying that overall,
Ventus.
yeah, I just happen to recall that, we got in there and we broke up the camp and everything, managed to break quite a few of them free and everything. I was more worried about the families that got separated, but we tried to keep them together as much as possible. Took a few of them under our wing.
Well, all I know
Eventually.
is that I didn't stick around to find out. I just ran as far and as fast as I could.
Was it
I
good?
lost my family in the in the scuffle. I think they went one way and I went the other. But according to Zenda, they are alive and well somewhere, and I'm just gonna have to find them, which is good news.
Yeah, Salmon Ridge, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's what I remember.
It's a decent little town.
It's the last place I would have looked. I've actually never been.
We kind of flew right over it on our way here.
We did.
It's a little bit. It's a mining town and a fishing town. It's kind of a weird setup they got there, but it's not bad.
Well, hopefully, when this is all over, I can go pay that place a visit, if not sooner.
Yeah, we'll back you up. I have a feeling.
All
I
right.
take my logger to his glass of whiskey.
Tink. Yeah.
Tink.
Yeah. So I go ahead and I swig some of my whiskey and I get the butter, put it on the bread, and I just kind of start munching on that. And I'm looking at Turok and I'm like, well, I mean, at least, when I fixed this horn, I couldn't do anything about the rest of them, though. I couldn't do anything to make the rest of them look pretty.
Oh, there ain't no fixing that.
All right, Ventus.
So, as I walk through the door with logger in hand, I look around and I'm kind of trying to. I want to investigate and see what kind of people we have in here, and I look over to a table, one of the long tables, the one closest to me, and I see a few empty chairs. I want to investigate and see if I see any interesting parties there at that table.
Okay, go ahead and roll your investigate.
All right. All right. Skills. An 8.
Everybody looks kind of interesting to you.
So what I do is I walk on over to the end of that table and sit down.
All right.
And I
As
say,
you sit down and you look up, directly across from you at the other end of the table is Garrus.
Garrus, buddy, you made it.
Holy hell, you made it here.
Well,
That was a crazy fight.
yeah, I didn't see you. Were you fighting along with us?
I was fighting with 2 kobolds over by where we crashed.
Come on, 2 kobolds? They're at least twice your size, huh?
No, we're about the same size, but I outweighed them by 10 pounds.
See, that's what happens when you take in your a little over your maximum amount of protein, huh? That's the kind of stuff that happens, right? You pack your weight.
Yeah. I did lose a few buttons on my uniform.
Oh, that was inevitable. Your buttons were struggling before the fight.
Yep. But, hey, I made it. I'm alive. I'm here. I didn't die in the crash.
Well, I'm so glad. So, who are your friends?
Oh, I just met them.
Oh, nice. Me too. How's it going, everybody?
Everybody kind of looks at you, raises their mugs, and they all kind of carry on with their conversations, take a swig. The one sitting next to you looks over and introduces himself. Says, Doran, who are you?
Nice to meet you, Dorn. I'm Ventus, and this lager is pretty good. And
Yeah, that's all Theo's personal batch. He makes that shit once a year.
I take 2 big gulps of it, and I say,
Whoa.
yeah. I say, once a year, huh?
Yeah, he lets it simmer for about 6 months. You might want to go a little easy on that. Is this your first time drinking it?
Yeah, at first I didn't really like it. It was kind of bitter, but the more I drink it, the more smooth it is going down.
Is that your first glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, slow down, son. It takes a few months of drinking that to be able to drink more than one, and that's what Theo uses for his therapy sessions.
A therapy session. You know what? I did hear about that, but I don't. Uh, does it hurt?
You know, if you want him to give you a painful memory.
So he can choose.
Oh, he's a dream walker.
Well, he never really told me much about it. I knew what he did, but I didn't know anything about the effect. I didn't know.
As you're taking that other swig, he kind of points his arm to the other gentleman sitting at the table and points to the table behind him as well. And he says, everybody here has been coming to see Theo for the last 4 or 5 years. Every one of us has seen battles that most people would love to forget. Many of us have had atrocities that we hope to never remember. And Theo gives us one-on-one sessions. He gives us this drink. We get 1 cup in us. He gets us to the room, and he gives us a nice dream walk.
That's interesting.
The last time I did a session with him, I got him to actually do a dream walk with my ex-wife. Poor thing, lost her a few years ago in one of the battles. That's the only reason she's my ex. She would have been my ex if she'd have survived too, because I would have killed myself, but...
Bro.
Save myself a divorce.
Okay. I'm a little worried, but, cheers.
Yes, definitely.
So, I proceed to, ask, I'm gonna say, so, everybody, I have a question. How is the defense of Madun? I was curious about it. We were worried when we landed. We found some people to the south, and we wasn't really sure, what the circumstances were before we got here. So, like, what's going on? Are the defenses holding up pretty well, or?
So this gentleman over here to your right with the backpack on.
Okay.
He looks up at you and he says, well, as of this morning, which I'm assuming is about the time you rolled into town, we've managed to actually push the enemy back out. They stormed us about 4 days ago. A pretty bloody battle for a while. They surprised the hell out of us, caught us completely off guard. But we've pushed them back. It doesn't look like they're going to be coming back anytime soon. At least that's what we're hoping for.
Well, that's a relief. I was worried. It seems like the whole world flipped on its head in just a matter of 24 hours. So it's a relief to know that you guys were able to push them back enough to get some time to heal, some sort of solace. Do you expect them to come back?
With the way they surprise us, we fully expect another attack. We just don't know how soon. If it wasn't for Bruta, we wouldn't have been able to push them back to begin with.
Yeah,
that woman is a living nightmare. Don't piss her off.
Oh no, I've seen. I'm very much behind you on that. You have to really watch what you say around her.
Oh yeah.
But fellas, I just want to say I'm just gonna make the rounds. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to meet all of you. I hope you guys fare very well, and I hope things continue to look up for you. I'm gonna go back and check on my friends. Nice chatting with you guys.
It was a pleasure.
Garrus, stay safe, brother.
I'm gonna come join you in the back room in a moment, if that's all right.
Sounds good, brother.
All right. And Turok.
I want to look at Zane and be like, has Ventus ever drank before?
Well, yeah, but it's always been like Maygrove's, like apple cider ales and stuff. Like it's never really been. Yeah, I don't think he's
So-
ever really had anything like.
So,
Oh, wait a second.
yeah, this lager isn't your average apple cider, buddy.
Let me take a sniff of that real quick.
Yeah, sure.
And so he passes me the mug, and I'm like, uh oh.
Do I need to go check?
And I'm like, this is Theo's strong stuff.
Ventus, I need you to give me a Constitution save.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
So, do I need to go check on him?
You're probably going to be the only person that can carry him in here.
Oh wait, that was wrong one. Let me do this. Constitution.
Go check on him, see how he's doing. And if I have to drag him back, I will.
An 8.
Okay,
And I'm
so you make it about here, and you lay down and curl up on the floor and take a nap.
Did I at least finish my lager?
Hell no.
No, you're curled up to it like it's a stuffed teddy bear.
I'm gonna go check on my friends.
Lons, back to you.
Well, I was gonna
Oh,
say
go ahead.
I was gonna get up and go out and see if I can find him and see how he's doing.
Okay. Get you out of the room, and we'll move to Lons from here.
Hey, Zane. Maybe I've only drank, to the bottom of this first mug here, but wasn't there like 4 of us? I don't swear there was 4 of us earlier.
Yeah, Ventus likes to go on little walks, and then I have to send Turok out to go get him. It's usually like a good yo-yo event.
Ventus, that's the daddy's boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can never get names straight. We got the bull, the old man, the daddy's boy. One day I'll get your names right.
Yeah.
If I offend you, I am so sorry. I'm not very social. I have the charisma of a god. But as far as being polite, I'm not really good at that.
And that's okay. Everybody here is getting really drunk, and Zane's just like looking at his whiskey like, I'm glad I got the not so stout stuff.
Is there anything else you want to do, Lons?
I want to order another of these, and hopefully I can finish.
Oh my god.
Do me a favor. Give me a con save real quick.
Just rolling a d20 on that.
It's gonna be your D20 with your con mod.
Can you pick out his word?
Oh God.
Ooh.
And it's a
It's
saving
already
throw.
not good. It's already not good.
Oh, bro.
That's a 3.
I don't even see my constitution anywhere.
Give me just a second here.
I mean, I don't think it matters, to be truthful.
Probably not enough to. It's
Oh,
not.
well, I got a plus
It's
1.
not.
So it's a 4.
It's a 4. So right after he says, "I'm hoping I can finish another one," he kind of just passes out in the chair.
Oh my god. And I just
Zane?
kind of reach over and I pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, it's okay, buddy.
Like that.
Zane, it is. It's to you now.
Well, now that I got the room to myself, I kind of stand up and I take my jacket off and everything, and I set it on the back and go ahead and pull my glove off of my hand, so I'm kind of showing my arm and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I just kind of take a couple of moments where I'm kind of walking around. I kind of want to walk over there next to the fireplace with my whiskey glass in hand.
Okay.
And just kind of stand there next to the fireplace for a minute and stare at the flames,
Okay.
sip my whiskey.
As you're doing that, Marcus walks in and tells you, the youngling is curled up with his cup on the floor outside. I think the Minotaur's taking care
Yeah,
of him.
I sent Turok in there to help him back this way.
And he looks over at Lons and goes, "Really? We're two
They
for
don't
two
know how to
already.
handle their ale.
Maybe we should have warned them about Theo's good stuff."
Yeah, but this is still funnier.
Fair point. Hey,
I didn't realize they actually had. You said I didn't realize whenever they said your finest lager that's what you were about to pull out.
well,
If you'd have told me that it was the Theo special, then I'd have been like, wait a second.
well,
Let's start with something a little less. But
they did say finest, and Theo's
Yeah,
personal
Theo's-
lager is the finest,
it really is.
both in flavor and content.
Yes.
Is he gonna be okay?
You talking about
Point to
Lons? Oh yeah, yeah. He'll be all right.
I'm
He just
gonna
needs to
guess
sleep it off a little bit.
He hands you a towel and says, "You might want to put that around his mouth. He's gonna drool in a minute."
Sure thing.
He hands you the bottle of whiskey that he promised to bring you and says it's an unsealed cap, and that's 8 years old. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
And he walks out and leaves you to your bottle and your thoughts.
Okay.
And Ventus is out cold. Turok. Yeah. Turok.
Do I need to roll perception to spot Ventus?
No, you walk out and you see him curled up like a child with his teddy bear. Only it's empty cup. Almost empty cup.
I'm gonna roll perception anyway, see if I can just scout about the room, see if I see anybody familiar. That's gonna be a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely notice Ventus. And you see everybody else in the room. You also recognize Garrus sitting at the end of the table. And he's kind of waving over at you like, hey, it's me! On the exact opposite corner of the room from you, you see your brother, Andarin.
Okay. By the way, I rolled a 12 for my Constitution check.
Okay. You are good. You're feeling a little tipsy, but you're good.
It's a good thing I left my drink on the table with Zane. I'm gonna look over at Ventus and be like, I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go say hi to Garrus and see how he's doing.
Okay.
Water! What? Poison! Something! Oh.
All right.
I'm surprised it's not about his dad.
So you make your way over to the table, and
To
your
Garrus?
brother. Wait, to Garrus or Andarin?
Garrus.
Garrus. Okay. I thought you said your brother. My mistake.
It's all good, friend.
Garrus looks at you. He goes, "I'm glad to see you made it, friend."
Well, I'm glad to see you made it. Dude, where were you? After the ship crash, we got straight into fighting and didn't see you at all.
Oh, I got into it with 2 kobolds where we crashed.
Oh, and I see you came out on top.
Yes, sir, I did. I threw my weight around.
Nice. Yeah, I say you kind of lost a couple of buttons. But
Yeah,
good
yeah.
job, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely lost. I lost my favorite one too. It was the one my mother put on there for me.
Oh.
But it was worth it. I got my first kill.
What? We need to go search for that favorite button?
I might go back to the crash site and look later. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I wish you the best of luck there. How's the ship looking? Not too badly damaged?
Oh, it's gone. It's done.
But
We're not getting
gone.
back in the air. Oh yeah, we hit the
Oh.
ground, and after you guys left, I fought the 2 kobolds, and I managed to kill both of them. Again, first kill. Woohoo! When I turned around, the rune had reactivated, and it caught on fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you forgot to bring back off.
I didn't even turn it off to begin with.
Oh,
It just kind of stopped working and we dropped out of the sky like rocks.
that's a little weird.
Not
But hey,
bad.
glad you made it okay. Coming to check on you since I spotted you in here, see how you're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
into soon, man.
I would love to get back in the sky again soon. Hopefully they can find me a replacement.
Right,
Because
Well,
I'm
I'm
not
gonna go
walking
say-
back to camp.
right. I'm gonna go say hi to my brother real quick before I come back to pick Ventus up. So y'all can
Okay.
if y'all can just keep an eye on him for a minute.
Okay.
Go anywhere, but please.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
All right, so now you're heading over to your brother?
Yep.
All right. As you approach the table, your brother sees you and says, "Stone Skin.
Brother,
Good to see you made it.
right?
So, we drink?"
Would, but kind of left mine back in our room.
He reaches into the middle of the table and picks up a bottle and pours it out into an empty glass. And he says, "Stone Skin wine.
Oh,
Oh boy.
We drink."
hopefully not too much, because I'm actually gonna go pick up my sleeping, buddy right outside our room. So won't be too much. to be
He
honest.
looks over his shoulder, kind of sees about where Ventus is laying, and goes, "Your friend fine. People sleep in worse spots than that. We drink."
Or he had one mug of Theo's lager. So
Yeah, he gonna be asleep for a while.
alright.
So
Let's
take
drink.
your swig, and then we fight.
Wait, what?
Oh wow.
Strength. We got a test. I need to see how strong my brother is.
Did somebody say fight?
Dude, he's still trying to arm wrestle me. He just does not stop, even after I broke his arm.
Arm wrestling. Yes, we wrestle.
Yes.
He looks
God.
He looks across the table, and Bruto looks at him and goes, "I'm not gonna get in the way," and moves over. Says, "Here you go. Take my seat."
Thank you, Britta. Good to see you again.
And as that happens, everybody has heard him announce this arm wrestling match.
Oh gosh.
So people are now gathering around to watch these two minotaurs arm wrestle. Someone even throws an empty bowl and says, "Here's the pot. Place your bets."
Oh god.
Yes.
Oh no.
One of the bartenders walks over and he goes, "Minotaur rules or safe rules?" And then Darn looks at her and smiles and looks at you and says, "Your call, little brother."
Okay, explain Minotaur rules.
Minotaur rules, and he takes two daggers and shoves them up through the bottom of the table, one on each side. Puts his arm right in the middle. First to draw blood. First to draw blood.
Oh.
Alright, let's go.
So wait
Yes.
a minute. Wait. Out of character here.
Uh-huh.
He shoved two daggers up through the bottom of the table.
Uh-huh.
So there's two spikes on either side now.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the first person to go down gets cut by the daggers or stabbed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this is a bloody freaking sport.
Minotaur.
I'm glad
matter
that
of-
Ventus isn't awake to see this, because if he was, it'd be a terrible thing.
As a
I'd
matter
He'd
of
get
fact,
ideas.
Can I
Zane,
roll?
I need you to give me a perception check to see if you actually hear him say
Minotaur rules.
Minotaur rules. Arm
Oh,
wrestle,
God.
Minotaur rules. Because at this point, he's bellowing it.
Unless a 10 does it, I doubt it.
Oh, a 10 does it.
It does?
It does.
I'm pretty sure it's loud enough.
Minotaur rules. Oh, hell no.
Dude, can I roll a Constitution and try to wake up?
Yes.
Okay, I rolled a 21.
Okay.
Did someone say fight? Just completely sober? Just run over there?
Well, not sober, but definitely awake enough to hear first blood.
Oh, yes! Oh,
no.
rematch.
Do you head in the direction of the voices?
Yeah, I run straight to the table and I
Well, is he stumbling?
Yeah, he's kind of stumbling through. Give me a dex save.
me?
A dex check. Yes.
19.
Oh, yeah. So you manage to stay on your feet, you stumble yourself all the way over the table, and you recognize Darren. And you see these two daggers sticking up through the table, and he's got his arm in the middle of them, waiting for Turok to grab his hand.
I get to take the winner.
And Darren turns and looks at you and goes, "You better hope he wins."
By the way, he ain't gonna do nothing. I broke his arm the last time. You don't have to worry about him.
Ah, puny human.
We'll see.
Right. Alright,
All
I
right.
grab his hand, let's go.
A crowd has gathered around the table. People have been dumping coins into the bowl. And the bartender says 10% of the winnings go to the winner.
10%. Wow.
House rules apply on bets. And Darn shakes his head in agreement. He looks at you and says, "Do you agree to 10%, brother?"
Agree.
Then put your hand in my hand and let's make the money flow.
Alright, let's go.
And strength check. It will be a best of 3 to start. What'd you roll?
10.
19.
Cool.
That was without his modifier.
Cool.
Round 1 goes to your brother.
Okay. Getting warmed up.
He lets go, grabs his drink, takes another drink, puts his cup down, goes, "You better drink."
Alright, round 2. I got
Round
this.
2. Roll. What you got?
19 total.
8. Round 2 to you.
Ooh,
Tiebreaker.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, very, very strong hand, brother." Grabs his drink
Thank
and
you, brother.
takes another chug and slams it down. He says, "Round 3. Give me all of it."
You're gonna get all of it. You're gonna get all of it.
And roll. What you got?
30-20.
Nat 20.
Ouch.
Oh.
What's his modifier?
+4.
Oh, same as mine.
Same as
Okay.
yours. Yep.
Son of a...
Bro. Oh, dude.
He slams your hand straight down, and as your hand goes on to the knife goes through, and he lets go so it doesn't go through his.
Oh, bro.
He looks at you, he looks at the knife, he looks back at you, and he goes, "No scream? That's a stone
What?
skin!"
Of course. I take my hand out and go to shake his.
He shakes your hand, and when he lets go, he looks at the hand. He's got your blood on his hand, and he literally takes it and puts the palm across his left eye and removes it. He goes, "My brother, with me always."
Always.
Where's Magic Man? We need to fix your hand. Magic Man! Where's the Magic Man?
And darn, me
Well,
and
Bruno?
you next, buddy. My
Second round,
turn.
Bruno?
As he's screaming Magic Man, a gentleman walks over, dressed in all green. He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, a paladin. You wouldn't happen to have been one of the crows, would you?"
Black Falcons?
The Falcon. Ah, the Falcons. Oh, well. This heals on the house.
Oh.
He heals your hand, and he looks up, and he says, "Thank you for gracing us with your presence. I definitely look forward to another bout between the two of you." And he walks away.
Oh, that happened again. Don't worry.
And Darren looks over at you, Ventus, and says, "Little man, sit."
Oh, no. No.
Let's go, buddy.
Ventus, no.
Oh,
You're in no shape to do
I
this.
start popping my knuckles. I put my elbow down.
Nope. I push him out the way. No, we're not having this.
No.
not having it.
Have I made it out there yet? Since I kind of,
Yes, my check.
We're doing this.
And we're going to get over to the top real quick. Lons, are you there?
You might be actually asleep.
Lons?
Do I need to do a constitution check to see?
Yes.
Yes.
We lost your video. I couldn't tell if you were there or not.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm out cold. Well, I got an 8.
he blacked out entirely.
Blacked out entirely.
Yeah, I got a 9 total.
Okay. You're not sleeping as hard, but you're still unconscious.
Very nice dreams.
Yeah. Zane, you are about halfway across the main floor, and you see Turok is pushing on Zane to stop him from getting to the table.
You mean Ventus?
Ventus,
Or
yeah.
Ventus, sorry.
Well, Turok's gonna be able to handle him, I'm sure. But
Strength check.
oh no.
Okay, strength check, but Ventus, you're doing it with a disadvantage.
Okay.
So roll twice, take the lower of the two.
All right. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
6.
Turok?
14.
Turok manages to push you hard enough to make you stumble backwards and rethink whether or not you actually want to sit down.
Bro, what are you doing?
He beat me. I beat you. Trust me.
You barely
You
beat
don't
me.
want-
Let me show you, brother, what's what. I ain't scared of no Minotaur.
I'm telling you, brother to brother. You don't want this.
We're all brothers here. Let me at him.
Whoa. Whoa.
You do not want this.
Ooh. Actually, Turok, give me an intimidation check. Just based on that tone, I'm going with intimidation.
Do I need to roll a save?
Yeah, we need to see what he rolls first.
Okay.
19.
19. Alright, so this is going to be a con save?
Be a will save.
Oh, will save.
Yep.
Will save?
Which is wisdom.
Wisdom?
Is it?
Yeah, it's your wisdom. Unless you have proficiency, and then it's your wisdom plus proficiency plus your roll.
I have a 14.
Roll to 14.
Yep.
Turok manages to snap your mental state of mind into, oh, I think he's serious.
All right. Well, me and you, we're gonna talk after this. Fine.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we're not friends right now. I'm walking away.
We're not friends right now.
That's the alcohol talking.
So as you go to walk, and Turok kind of moves with you, Zane and Doris looks at you and goes, "Big man, I've always wanted to face the Sage. Care to play?"
I'm just kind of looking at him, and I look at Turok, and I'm like, "Is he serious?"
Yeah, we kind of already went through rounds. So he's a little bit riled up on his win.
Zane, give me a quick perception check.
And this time I'm gonna walk back up to Indar and be like, hey, can I get another glass of this thin skin wine?
and Darn reaches down under his chair, grabs a bottle, and says, "Here you go."
Thanks, brother. I owe you one day.
Perception check was a 17.
Okay. With that, you can hear the crowd that's around this table. Everybody's kind of whispering to each other, and you can make out them saying, "That's him. That's the Sanguine Sage. That's the Sage. Holy shit, he's actually here. Have you heard the stories about him? I bet he could take Andarin." You're just one comment after another, just nonstop.
And you see like my left hand go up, and I'm kind of scratching my forehead. I'm like standing there, and like the cut of the undershirt and everything that I have it's pretty much sleeveless, because like whenever I don't have the jacket on, I'm kind of wanting to make sure I can fully access my arm in order to do the maintenance and stuff for it. So
yeah,
I've got like the sleeveless shirt, and I actually have like, I had my cuirass on, but I think I've pretty much taken it off since we've gotten indoors and all that stuff.
yeah.
I pretty much set on my armor side, so it's pretty much just like the undershirt with the suspenders over them and everything. Kind of reminds you of Zach from Final Fantasy VII a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Like that look, that suspenders over the shoulders.
Yeah, it's the old school 50s Irish mob look, the t-shirt and dress pants with the suspenders.
Yeah, except for like it's the lower robe pant things that I had like for like whenever you look in the picture and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
it's
that arm is fully exposed then.
Yeah, that arm is fully exposed.
And because of the arm being exposed, that's how people are fully recognizing you at this point. And then Darren's eyes are just wide with joy at the moment, because he's finally getting to see that arm in all its glory. And he's like, I want that arm.
Not for sale.
On this table.
I'm gonna look at Andar, and I'm gonna be like, buddy, I recognized my limits a long time ago, and I can tell you now that, I mean, as strong as this arm is, it's still no match for a Minotaur's strength.
He grabs his bottle of stone skin, lifts it to you, tilts it back, and just chugs it. And as he's chugging it, you can hear the liquid emptying out of the bottle.
Glue, glue, glue. Yeah.
And when the last drop falls into his mouth, he lifts the bottle away so that you can see there's nothing left. Sets it down and goes, "Advantage yours." And just smiles.
I just rolled a stealth check to see if I could get past Turok.
What'd you roll?
What'd you roll?
A 15.
Oh my god. Turok, give me a quick
Perception check.
perception.
Come on, man. Come on. Don't fail. Don't fail.
No.
9.
Holy shit! Yeah, you snuck right past him.
I was busy looking at the wine, I guess.
You walk right past him to the table. You are now standing next to Zane, in front of Andarin, and listening to this conversation
Yeah.
with absolute joy in your eyes. Like, is this really happening?
And I see my people just kind of pop up beside me, and I'm like, I think you need to chill for a minute here, bud.
You do it or me. It's up to you.
No, I'm like, I'm not about to see you go through this. So I go ahead and I make my way around to the side of the table.
Oh. And
Why am I doing this? The whole time, like in my head, my head's just like, why am I doing this? Why?
As you
I'm
sit
letting
down,
myself be goaded into this.
Yep. Well, as you sit down, Andarin slaps the table and says, "The Sanguine Sage honors Andarin with arm battle."
Can I roll perception to see if I hear that?
You don't have to roll perception on this one. Your brother screams this loud enough that they can hear it outside.
Okay, do I notice that Victus is now gone?
Yes. Yes, you do.
You little bastard.
We gotta roll another Constitution check.
Slippery little
for fuck's
sucker.
sake.
Yeah.
He said he's
I-
rolling a Constitution check real quick.
Okay.
By the way,
God damn it.
the barkeep, it is not the same.
What
man.
did you roll?
5.
You're still sawing logs.
Dude,
We
I
need
am
our-
ass the fuck out.
We need our bard to play some
Dude, just
crazy
one of these
tunes
numbers.
for
So I
this.
just kind of wake
Alright.
up and I'm like,
So Garrus is
let's
gonna
pass
walk
my
in.
check out.
I love it.
Garrus is gonna walk in and he's gonna walk over to you. And he's looking at you. And he's got a bottle of water.
Oh gosh. Yay.
He walks back out,
So well.
and a few moments later, he comes back in. And he dumps a bucket of ice cold water on you, Lons, and snaps you wide awake.
Holy shit. Shit. Whoa.
Hey!
Everybody
you're
go.
awake!
Holy crap, it's the guy from the balloon. Holy crap.
It's
The
me,
guy-
Garrett.
He's alive. Where'd everybody go?
The Sanguine Sage is about to arm wrestle Andarin.
What? Dude, I gotta see
Yes.
this. Hold on. Show me.
Follow me, my friend.
You got it. I'm pretty much stumbling at this point, but yeah, I'm following.
That's so
Following
high.
hard.
So, as you get over here, he tries to get you as close to the table as possible. And I'm going to give this to you. You kind of stand up on top of this table here, and you can see down on top of the table. There is a huge crowd around this table.
Can I make my way on the right side of Andarin?
You want to what?
Can I?
He wants to sit on the
move to
right side of Andoran.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put you right over there, right across from Bruta.
I'm pretty much being a woo girl over here. Whoa! Go sports!
And Bruta pulls out a bag, and she looks at you, Turok, and she goes, 300 platinum on Zane.
Oh gosh.
Woo! You know how much stuff you could buy with that?
She goes, I know you don't have that much on you,
Yeah, not even close.
but you're supposed to become a paladin. Full-fledged, correct?
Yes.
If Zane loses, you'll be full-fledged. This will be your trial. Can you watch your friend lose and keep face. Do you accept?
I'm just gonna look at Zane for a minute. Sorry, old man. I want to become a full-fledged paladin. But you know what? You do, give it your best. Whatever happens, happens.
Bruta looks at you and goes, if you win, you get 200 platinum. If you lose, he becomes a paladin, and you'll have to address him like one. But keep in mind, you've got 200 platinum if you win, and he has to remain an apprentice for another year.
Bruta, you're not playing fair.
She doesn't.
She kind of tilts her head and looks at you and smiles and goes, Zane, when have I ever played fair?
Exactly what I said.
That's awesome.
We all know this.
Do you know
I'm
how
like,
many?
well, I've got to do what I've got to do here.
Oh, absolutely. But do you know how many apprentices I still have because of bets like this?
Well,
That doesn't sound great to me.
there's every chance I'm going to lose here. This is. I look at Endar and I'm like, I wasn't kidding when I said I didn't make this to be anything more than a replacement for my arm.
Yes, I heard stories. I know what that arm can do. I know.
But I'm like, okay, well then let's see if the stories stand up to what you heard.
He reaches underneath of his chair, pulls out another bottle, cracks it open, says, "You drink, I drink, we slam."
And I'm gonna open up my bottle and drink quick.
All right.
So you take a swig?
Yeah.
All right. He reaches across, grabs a bottle from you. He takes a swig, and he sets up.
And I go ahead and I grab the Minotaur's hand, which probably looks like a freaking baby grabbing a freaking baby trying to grab a log.
Pretty much. And it gets really, really quiet. And all you hear now is the bartender say, "Best of 3. Roll."
Now I'm rolling with advantage, you said?
Mm-hmm. And I'm rolling with disadvantage. What you got?
So if I roll a critical failure, I just fail, right?
Kinda.
Even with the advantage?
Yeah, if your first roll was a critical, was it your first roll?
It was.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, that completely negates your advantage. He slams your hand so hard he breaks that end of the table off.
Oh.
But the arm holds up.
The arm holds up.
And it does.
And he looks at you and he goes, we slide over?
I'm sliding over.
So, everybody kind of moves out of the way. You guys slide down a little bit. And the lovely elf that was out there with you guys looks at the table in front of her and she's like, You spilt my drink, Andarin. I'm sorry. I'll buy you another one after match. You better.
What's her name again?
She actually never introduced herself.
She was the one that was with the party though, right?
Yes. The name.
She
She walks over to you. She puts her hand on your shoulder and she goes, You better take the next one. That asshole owes me a drink. I'm Cassandra, by the way.
Well, I thought, what her name, like Zindra or something like that last time?
Zinda.
Zinda.
She was the one on. She was the soldier on the battlefield.
Her full name is Cassandra.
Oh, okay, Cassandra Zinda, I guess, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Mic check.
Okay, well,
He takes a swig out of the bottle and slides the bottle over to you.
take a swig also. This is the rules.
He puts his hand up.
I go ahead and I place my hand in his.
I'm gonna take another swig 'cause I'm nervous as hell.
Roll.
Can I cast Bardic Inspiration on him?
You sure can.
I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
Go for it, because I just rolled
Yeah,
a nat
buddy.
20.
Cool.
Oh shit.
Well, I can't cast it if I know the outcome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nope.
Hey, that saved you a spell though.
Yeah.
So you slam his hand so hard into the table that you break the other end of the table off.
That's a very small table at this point. It's like a one-seater.
He looks at you and goes, we move to another table?
Theo,
This
what
is just beautiful. Oh my
Bruce.
gosh.
Bruta looks at you and goes, Zane, you spilt my drink.
Oh, I move.
Hey, you place an unfair bet. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna look
You
at
got
Bruno.
it.
I'm gonna look at Bruno and be like, "Hey, you place an unfair bet."
The crowd kind of parts a little bit.
I'm already away from the table. Like, nope.
We're moving over to the next table.
He moves over here, kind of follow over.
So we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You got your whole support group. Even Lawns is hopping across the barrels so that he can
Hell
stare
yeah.
at
He
guys.
wants to see all this.
He's got to see it.
Theo said someone owes me a new table.
Yes,
I've
they
got
do,
that.
Theo. Yes, they do.
Can I?
I'm
roll
blaming the
perception to
bull.
See if I see lawns.
Yes.
Okay.
This is theatrical, by the way. This is just freaking beautiful.
That's a nat 20.
Oh yeah, you just watched him literally toe jump from barrel to barrel to get to the next spot so he can keep his view,
Yeah, you
Hey,
see
Lon.
the heck out of it.
and he does it with absolute grace.
Hey, lawns. Can we get some music?
No. What?
Can we get some music going?
Hell yeah, you get some music. Hold on. Let me get that started.
This is round 3 of craziness. Good grief.
And Darn grabs the bottle, takes a huge drink out of it, slowly hands it across the table to you and goes, "Finish it."
How much is left in that bottle?
About a quarter.
I shrug.
Think of this as one of the large 1-gallon jugs of Colorossi.
Oh yeah. Wow. So
If
it's
it
one of
was
them
white
tall
with 3
bottles.
X's on it, yeah.
Oh my. He wants me to fit. That's
Yeah,
a
there's
freaking pint. That
There's
is
a
a
quarter
pint.
of that left.
That is a pint because 4 pints are in a gallon.
Yeah,
That is a pint of stone skin wine.
yeah. He wants you to finish it.
Better make that con save.
Oh my god. Okay. I grab the bottle.
You
I'm
chug?
gonna need this anyway. I chug.
Come on, Zane. We can't let these minotaurs keep showing us up, dude.
At this point, everybody is cheering. They're screaming, "Chug, chug, chug." The music is playing in the background because Lons is having a ball. And
Indeed I
I need
am.
you to roll me a con save.
Let's go, old man.
An 11.
No.
It's an 11.
That would be a fail. So
How
as
bad
you
of a
guys-
fail, though?
Not bad, but bad enough. As you guys lock hands, you pass out. And he looks at you while he's holding your hand, and he just kind of moves it over and taps the table. And Darren wins?
It appears so.
It's okay. I'll take over.
No.
And Darren turns to you, Turok, and he goes, "You're a paladin now!"
Yes.
Let me take the last round. I'm not done.
Ventus, no.
You're not my dad.
And Darren looks at you and goes, "I beat
You're
the
right.
sage."
I'm here.
Says, "I beat the sage. I don't need to beat you."
No, but I need to beat you.
He walks around the table and he grabs Zane and picks him up. I'm gonna have to move you guys individually here for a second. Oop, that's not him.
No.
That was
No,
her.
that's...
Oop, nope, too many people. He picks you up and he walks you in. And he lays you down on the bed.
Hmm.
Pulls out a little elixir and kind of pours it in your mouth. Here in a few minutes, you're going to be wide awake. He
Hmm.
pulls out another one, shoots it himself, shakes his head, stands up good and straight, and walks out of the room like he never even had a drink.
Hmm.
And he walks back to the table. Gentlemen, what are you doing? Let's get back to the top of the turn order here. We're going to start with you, Lons.
I'm just going to keep playing the music because now that I've started, I can't stop. Playing something real sick for the old man that just put passed out in the other room. I call this Nighty Night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Hey, you know the words. Sing along.
Hmm.
Everybody in the tavern starts singing "Good night, sweetheart."
Hmm.
As they do that, Xanda tells Turok and Bruda and Ventus to come with her. Darren's already with you. And she says, I think it's time we all go have a chat. Her and Bruda take one end of the table. And Darren and there's still one more seat over there for you, Zane, when you wake up, which will be momentarily. So, while Lons is keeping the rest of the tavern happy, they're all kind of moving the bits of the table over into the corner and helping with the cleanup a little bit. There's a whole crowd over here in the corner taking care of that now. One of the waitresses walks over, sets the bowl down in front of Andarin, and says, "You made out pretty well tonight, Andarin. I'll get you another bottle in a moment." And then she walks away. Zane, a few minutes have gone by, and you are waking up. And as you wake up, you feel refreshed, and you can't figure out exactly why, but you don't even feel like you've been drinking.
But I'm seeing where I am, and I'm like,
You see that where you're at, you do notice two other people in the room that are just zonked out. It looks like they've probably been asleep for a hot minute. There's also a note next to you. Do you pick up the note?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Okay. When you pick up the note, it says, "Join us at the back table."
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, God's blood, freaking stone skin wine. So then I just kind of get up, and I'm guessing, did my bottle of whiskey make it in here with me?
Yes.
Okay,
at the-
I'm
it's
gonna
at the end of the
grab that. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that in the glass, and I'm just gonna kind of make my way out, and I kind of take 2 seconds to realize where I'm at in position of the bar, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And so I kind of start looking around, seeing if I can try and find the back table.
Yeah. All right, and you do find the table. As you approach the table, Brutus looks at you and says, "Oh, thank you for joining us, Zane."
Stone skin wine. I set the bottle down and I set the glass down, and I'm like, well, actually, I kind of try and look around and see if I can see Marcus or anybody.
Marcus is over in the opposite corner helping clean up the table that you and Endarn destroyed.
And I'm like, oh god. 1 second, guys.
Endarn looks at you and says, "Well, I owe them a table." Oh, he'll be back in a moment. While we take this short break, actually, why don't we go ahead and take a... Yeah, let's go ahead and take a 10.
Alrighty.
Take a
So
10-minute intermission.
9:45.
Yeah, 9:45. We'll be back at 9:45. Quick intermission so everybody can do whatever they need to do real quick.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
They still able to hear us, or are they on the intermission? Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
So,
And we're back up and running.
Yep.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you everybody for being patient and hanging out while we took a quick break.
All this awesomeness is a little bit of an overdose.
Wait,
No?
what? I was so thrown. Sorry, I'm still a bit tipsy.
Clearly.
I'm in shock.
All right, so when we took our break, we were with Zane. Zane, you had just gotten back to the table, and Darren just told you I owe Theo a new table.
I'll toss in my bit of that too.
All right.
To be fair, you broke one in, I broke the other. We'll call it even.
Sounds good to me.
He's the one with the platinum. He'll be fine.
Hey,
I'm just
it
kidding.
takes a lot of platinum to keep me this strong.
A lot of alcohol.
Something like that.
I don't know, man. Since nobody's taking anybody seriously around here, I'm just gonna say whatever.
What do you mean?
You turned down my challenge. I know what it is.
Hey, if you think I'm scared of you, little man.
I didn't say you were scared of me.
Someone
I'm
needs to
just.
pop your ego.
I didn't say you were scared of me. I just said that maybe you just didn't want the sauce. That's all I'm saying.
How much sauce could I get from you? A dab?
Enough.
A little dabble, do you?
Yabba dabba do. And Darren turns to you again, Zane, and goes, "Thank you for honoring me with that."
It's no honor, my friend. It's just good sportsmanship.
No, you don't understand. And Darren heard all the stories about Sanguine Sage. Always wanted to wrestle or fight you. We definitely must rematch you. You kind of gave me the third round. But we'll do that another time. And Darren
Sounds
wants
like
to
a
know
plan.
more about you. Tell me, how did you get that name?
You know, it's a lot. There was plenty that happened that even led up to this. The Sylvestrans were adamant. They were pushing west. The southern campaign that they were on pushed them all the way through the entire eastern portion of the continent. There were several, just territory after territory was being taken down by this brigadier general, Baden Crass.
I know that name.
You should. He was a traitor from our own frickin' nation.
What did he
He's
do?
the reason that Sylvestrans got as much of the technology that we had. He took some of my earlier designs, back whenever I was just getting Corvus Runetech Industries up and off the ground, and defected over to Sylvestra. He is originally one of the Aroni.
That bastard. Should have killed him when I saw him.
Trust me, I wanted to do the same exact thing. You see, whenever we had heard about the campaign that he was on, Sylvestra stands at the summit, was all that he used to say. He was just on a tirade. He wanted to expand the Sylvestran territories, and he pushed as far south as the Tyrian Triumvirate and tried to push west into our territories, and got as far as taking Warwick away, and then was on his way here. And we knew we had to do something.
I check.
So the Arendelle Council decided to put together a delegation and wanted to send us here to negotiate a truce, a ceasefire or something, see if we could find a way to stabilize the region and give this place some peace. And the Sylvestrans at first seemed like they were willing to do that. I had been asked by the council to take part in the deliberations, I guess because, my namesake and everything, and I decided to go as backup because the Silver Knight, the one and only person that I ever cared about, she was the one that I was going to back up, and I just didn't see any of it coming. I wish I did.
What was her name?
Saphira.
Saphira. And Darn know this name. Heard stories about her too. Great warrior.
Yeah, Saphira Aventus, head of the Aventus household. She kept me safe whenever we were on the islands.
Islands?
Whenever I lost my arm.
Tell me more about Arm Islands.
You're really trying to go back now. It's longer than I even care to remember.
It's a very pretty arm.
Well, it was a lot prettier whenever it was actually flesh and blood, I'll tell you that.
Fair.
The Phantasmal Isle is what we ended up calling it. But deep to the south, way further south of the continent of Everalis, there's a small island that's down there. It's actually where I first came across a lot of your kind. And
My kind.
a few other Beastmen tribes.
How could you come across my kind?
For all intents and purposes, the continent of Everalis had only seen very few of Minotaurs or Beastmen in general, but Phantasmal Isle was chock full of them. Matter of fact, there weren't any actual human settlements on there at all. It was all just tribe after tribe of Beastmen.
Sounds like a fun place.
It was interesting because the whole place was, there was a bunch of ramshackle villages put together with anything that they could get their hands on.
Oh,
there
like
were
huts.
not just huts. They had pretty decent buildings actually, but they were made out of anything and everything. Flotsam and jetsam that they pulled in from the ocean.
Huh.
And they had to be rebuilt constantly because the whole place was just breeding ground for monsters.
What kind of monsters?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Oh, and darn seen some monsters.
Never seen a Tarrasque?
Yeah, to ask about my height.
That would have been a baby.
That's a baby?
Trust me, they get much, much larger.
How big?
Well, the one that attacked us was about 3 stories tall, and it was still a juvenile.
Attacked?
Like I said, you're going back longer than I even want to remember.
3 stories. Baby, my Juve 3. What? And darn,
Have you
must see
seen
with
a
his own
full-size
eyes.
Tarrasque?
I didn't know they got bigger.
A full-size Tarrasque is... They call them colossal for a reason. They're
How do I
probably
get to this
about the
island?
size of small towns.
How do I get to this island? I must see with my own eyes.
It's a pretty incredible trip, and it's really difficult to get to. We had to go by boat. And whenever we were traveling down there with the ship, there's a weird... Something happens with instrumentation. The compasses stop working. Everything, radios stop really being able to transmit. Everything just becomes garbled and really difficult to understand. The seas are tumultuous. The weather is crazy until you get to the island itself. Whirlpools in almost every direction.
Mic check. And darn don't like this.
After this, I really was prone to not wanting to go on them again.
We see eye to eye on that. So, tell me more about. We'll get back to island. We can talk about that another time. I don't want to get on a boat anytime soon.
Yeah, well, that's where I lost my arm to the Tarrasque itself, and Saphira was the one that actually managed to catch me and keep me alive long enough to get me back home.
You survived being attacked by a building?
I wouldn't necessarily call it survival. I had to distract him in order to keep everybody else from getting killed.
You're alive, that's survive.
Part of me didn't make it back from that island, I can tell you that right now.
Heh, literally.
You're a funny one, man.
Stone skin humor.
And I go ahead and I pop the top on that whiskey bottle, and I go ahead and I pour myself a glass and pick it up and swirl it around a bit and let the amber dregs just kind of settle up against the side of the glass before I take a sip. I'm like, oh, that's good.
As you do that, he kind of scoots his stool a little bit closer to you.
I slide on the bottle.
He leans in real close. Tell me more about how you became sage. I want to hear that story.
Well, like I was saying,
perception
Saphira and I...
Give me a quick perception check.
Uh, 24.
Okay. As you begin to tell this portion of the story, you notice that there's several people that have kind of turned their heads in your direction, and you can tell that they're listening in. Some of them have scooted their chairs just a little bit closer to you, not too much to make it feel like they're invading your space, but they're clearly listening very intently, and some of them have kind of kicked back in their chairs and they're slowly sipping on their drinks, and they're just waiting to hear the story of how you became the Sanguine Sage.
And I was like,
Proceed.
and so I kind of look around and I'm looking at everybody else, and I take another sip of my drink and I set it down. I'm like, well, you gotta understand, I was already a sage. I mean, the Collegium de Esoterica had given me the rank of Magnus Obscura, and so that pretty much gave me that whole sage ranking right there. But
Lons, give me a perception check.
Looking at it. An 8. Plus 4, so 12.
Okay, that's high enough, actually. You can hear Zane starting to talk about his title as a sage. Does this pique your interest at all?
Absolutely.
All right, what do you do?
I want to move over to the table. Actually, I guess I just kind of want to stand over his shoulder if I can.
Okay. So, right about here?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Zane.
yeah, it was, like I was saying, though, it's like, I mean, you understand, I mean, I was pretty much already a sage and all, but whenever they had tasked me to come down here with Saphira, we were meant to negotiate this peace. It was already pretty late in the game. We had noticed that, or we had been receiving reports that the Sylvestrans had taken up positions outside of the town and dug themselves in defensively, and our forces were still back in Toem, which is the next town over from here. The small platoon that we had been sent here with was just enough to secure our position in the city and give us a little bit of clout whenever we were actually doing our negotiating, but that was it. And when we had gotten to the hall, they had sent just a few people ahead. They were saying that they were there to start the negotiations before the general would arrive. And we took it to mean what they said. We thought that they were going to do just that, but all we heard at one moment was the man say, you know, "You arrogant fools, you actually believe this talk of peace?" And then he says, "Sylvestra will stand at the summit." And he pulled the trigger. And whenever he did, he blew himself up. Took out half the room with him. And then the mortars came.
Mic check.
Now, I don't know if you've ever smelled the way that a battlefield tends to progress. It's
Yes, I have. Many battles for me.
but like whenever it's inside of a town that's been filled with people, it takes on a whole different meaning. Like the buildings get ripped apart, and whenever they're on fire, the smoldering rocks and everything, the sulfur from the mortars, and just creates this acrid just stench that kind of lingers on the back of your tongue. And the blood and the copper that you get, that aftertaste that you smell from that, and it kind of makes a sickly sweet, just stench that kind of just lingers there in the back of your mouth like you can't get rid of it. We had managed to get the delegation, or what was left of it, clear. And Saphira and I had gotten separated at one point. Things were just too hectic. There were explosions going off everywhere. The Sylvestrans weren't letting up. I got enough of the delegation clear to send them to get a message out to Toem and try and get our forces over here. And they were supposed to go to the edge of town and try and get on the radio and get them here.
Here in Mudan?
Yeah, here in Madun.
Madun?
Yeah, they, you know, we only had a small force. We didn't have everybody. The actual army was back in Toem, like I was saying, and we were hoping that they were going to get here in time. But we had to call them in, and it was going to take them at least a couple of hours to get from there to here. So we had to try and hold what was left of the town, just a small handful of men. I had gotten the delegates clear, the couple that I had, and was trying to make my way back around. And got back to the square. It was chaos. There were soldiers that were actually pouring in, orc forces that they had, mercenaries that they had, you know, snuck in, stationed in different places, and I had to try and, you know, barrel my way through at least 2 or 3 different parties of different individuals, and I was loading up every bit of runic ammo that I could, and just trying to blast my way through to get to here, to get back to Saphira. And by the time I made it back into town and I started making my way into the square, I had to hide myself away inside of a building as a passing patrol went by. And I tried to get a better vantage point, so I went up the stairs and I looked out the window and saw the square. And that's whenever I saw that Crass had made it into the square and secured it, captured our men, and I saw Saphira.
Where was she?
Captured right alongside him.
What did you do?
I didn't know what to do. I was frozen there for a moment, but then I started trying to figure out what was going to happen, and all I could hear was the general barking orders and telling his men, you know, secure the perimeter, and several other things I couldn't quite make out, but I did remember hearing his second in command asking him, saying, "What do we do with the prisoners?" And then he said, "No prisoners."
Did he kill all of them?
They lined them up like freaking sheep. They shot them like dogs in the middle of the street and let them bleed out. And when I saw that, I lost it. I don't really remember exactly what happened. I remember jumping through the window from the second story, somehow managing not to kill myself on the way down. And I remember drawing my gun and cursing the name of whoever got in my way. I shot soldier after soldier, killed mercilessly, did not care. I had to get to her. I had to. And by the time I reached the area, it was like it was too late. Everybody was just laying there lifelessly, and I didn't know what to do. I saw 3, 4, 5 soldiers just in the vicinity, and I wasted no time. I emptied the rest of my entire clip on them. And after I emptied that whole round, there was only one remaining, and it was that second in command, that stupid man. I managed to shoot one of his arms off in the process. That was the one that was holding his gun. But I wasn't finished.
What did you do next?
Well, despite I have no idea what I look like. Apparently, people told me that later I was just drenched in the enemy's blood. But I remember walking up to that man, and grabbing him by the collar and lifting him up. And then I remember grabbing my gun, and it was loaded with the most devastating ammo that I have in my possession.
Cool. What kind is that?
It's the radiant rounds, the ones that shoot my guiding bolts.
The purple lights.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about your purple lights.
And whenever I did, I unloaded the entire 8 rounds into that man's chest. The gun made its way inside of his body and shot out the other side. There were beams of light spraying in every direction. And then pretty much he was just there, hanging from my arm, lifelessly.
And you say Saphira?
She was gone.
Oh.
Long gone by the time I got there. And whenever I grabbed her up and I held her there, I just knew that I'd already lost her. And I looked around and didn't see anybody to come and help me, but that's where I laid until the next group came in. Apparently the other soldiers decided that it was too risky to send anybody else in to try and re-secure the square. And whenever they found me laying there, and I was covered in the enemy's blood and hers. And that's whenever they decided to call me the Sanguine Sage. Because sanguine, as it also happens, means bloody.
And Darn feels for you. He nods his head and sits back in his chair, grabs his glass, stands up, holds it up high, and tells everyone, a drink to the Sanguine Sage, the savior of Madoon. He points it at you, takes a drink. Everybody around you does the same.
And I just kind of raised my glass on like to Saphira, the true knight of us all. And I just basically down the rest of that whiskey glass and I slap it down. And then I get up and I kind of walk away from the table.
As you're walking away, everybody starts to pat you on the shoulder as you're walking by, thanking you for everything that you've done. And right before you round the corner to get out of view, you hear Handarin say, "You're my brother's family, you're my family." Now, we move to Ventus. Alright. Zero. Alrighty. Alright, Turak.
I think I made Ventus a little mad.
Bruta looks at you and goes, "Why do you think you made him mad?"
He wanted to arm wrestle and Doran, and I kind of raised my tongue at him and told him no.
Well, let's be honest, Turak. You and I both know that even if he had gotten the better of Andarin, he'd have hated himself in the morning, and he wouldn't be able to use his sword arm.
Well, you see, just yesterday we arm wrestled and I broke his arm.
Well, why did you do that?
It wasn't on purpose.
Oh, nothing you do is ever on purpose, but really? You broke it?
Well, see, I kind of might have overcompensated. He won the first round because my right leg cramped, costing me that first round. And
Of course you have an excuse for the first one.
yeah. Going like it is. Whatever. I'm just in shock at their outcome with their arm wrestling. I was not expecting any of that.
I could imagine. So, the second round? How did that go?
Or which one?
The second round against Ventus.
Oh yeah, the second round. That's when I broke his arm.
Oh, so there was no
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, that was no third.
Oh, yeah, it's a good thing you stopped.
Kinda had to. Zane was getting old nanny and wanting us to stop from having fun.
Well, you know how Zane is. He's very,
Yeah.
very protective of Ventus, and rightfully so. You know how Ventus's father is.
Yeah.
You've trained with the man.
Yeah, me and Zane had a nice long talk about that.
I would hope
wants
that
me,
Zane filled you in.
well, Zane wants me to straighten up and stop goofing off with him, but I kind of told him, him challenging me to an arm wrestling contest because he says he's got stronger, kind of boosting his confidence a little bit, making him feel better about himself. But how's he going to test himself if he's not going against me?
Well, to be fair, there are other ways he could test himself, but I see your point. I also see Zane's point. You and Andarin are entirely too much alike.
Yeah, I started noticing that
There's
immediately.
there's a reason I never introduced you to your brother. And to be fair, I didn't know you guys were related actually related until this morning. But I think the two of you need to talk. It turns out that your tribe is actually from the Eden String Islands.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit about it, not much.
He's not going to be able to give you too much more. He wasn't there for much longer than you were. But he can at least tell you something about your parents. It's not all going to be good. I'll tell you that.
I kind of had that feeling.
But be thankful that you do still have some family. And know that as of this moment, you have passed your trials. You are a full-fledged paladin.
Thank you, Bruto. I was not expecting it, but I'm thankful.
She's asked you for your shield.
Hand her my shield.
She grabs your shield, and she runs her fingers in the shape of a falcon on it. She hands it back to you. You are now officially a full-fledged member of the Circle of the Falcon.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You've earned it. Your time in the Black Campaign is worth more than you'll ever know. If it hadn't been for you putting your childish moments to the side and being as serious as you could be during that campaign, many people would not have survived.
I barely did. Case in point.
It was a sacrifice it was worth making. I will have to say that.
Cost me a little bit of my pride, but I'd say I've made that quite back. Thanks to this fine group here.
Yes, but your pride was your biggest problem.
Maybe. Yeah.
And clearly, you've learned how to accept mistakes, you have learned how to accept flaws, and now you clearly embrace them. That is what makes you a worthy paladin.
Thank you.
Talk to your brother, get the information you need, and you guys get some rest. I'm gonna go have a talk with your bard.
Have fun.
And now we're back to the top of the order with you, Lons. Bruto walks over to you and taps you on the shoulder and says, I don't think we've had a proper introduction yet.
No, I don't believe we have. Lons Lebec.
My name is Bruta. I am the leader of the Circle of the Black Falcon, of the Paladin Order.
I've seen your stuff on the battlefield. You're very proficient with your weapon.
Years and years of training and much practice. And plenty of idiots to try to test me.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I have going for me right now is that I haven't really been able to fight actual people or enemies or creatures with the weapon that I have. I've just been training in the woods, chopping trees and things of that nature. This is all relatively new to me. I'm kind of green, if you will.
Understandable, which is actually why I wanted to come and talk to you. Would you mind joining me at the table?
Let's go.
Do you want to sit next to her or across from her?
You sit next to.
Okay. As the two of you sit down, you notice that the table behind you immediately get up and walk away.
Don't blame him.
This is Lebec, correct?
Correct.
I believe somebody made mention to you about your family.
Yeah, I was told they're holding up in Salmon Ridge.
Yes. Do you know why your family hasn't approached you?
No, I don't have a clue.
You've been missing for how many years? Or they've been missing in your eyes for how many years?
Several.
Several years. Well, your sister has an armory up there. She's a smith.
That's what I've been told.
Absolutely fantastic at her job. She actually did the suit of armor for me.
Wow. Excellent craftsmanship.
The weapon that you speak of, I believe, is that beautiful axe lute of yours.
The very same.
That is also of her work.
Really?
It was a gift from her to you that she wanted to tell you so very badly that your family was alive and that they wanted you to stay. But they have discovered that there's someone following them. Someone is following them trying to find you. How did you escape exactly?
Well, whenever the paladins came to disperse everyone from the encampment, my family and I got separated in the hustle and bustle because we weren't really sure where to go. They were being held up because everybody was trying to kind of put people in wagons and things of that nature, try to get them out of there. And I just ran as far as I could. I didn't want to find out where we were going. My family just kind of ushered me to leave, so I did as fast as quickly as I could. The only downside is that I didn't know anything about the lay of the land. I didn't know anything about where I was, so I just kept running until I ran into the first town that I came across.
And you've been on the move ever since?
I have. At first, I was just kind of playing music, bar to bar, earning my keep here and there. I ended up having to dye my hair to keep myself hidden, just in case someone ever came to look for me. But yeah, that's pretty much how I've managed to survive.
Well, I will say this. Dyeing your hair was a great idea.
I think so.
Absolutely, that blue looks stunning.
Thanks. It's my favorite color, actually.
So, how much do you know about your people?
About my people, you mean my family or my dwarven heritage?
Your mole bloodline.
Not much, actually. We never really had much of a chance to talk about it. We were always kind of working.
Understandable. So you know very little. You do obviously know that you have some dwarven quote-unquote heritage. You're half human, half dwarf. Clearly you shave often.
Actually, I don't shave at all. And actually, the beard I can never grow facial hair, ever.
Well, that's
It's just
something
naturally
new
like
for me.
this.
There aren't many of your kind. The few that I've come across have all been rounded up. And they're working in camps and shackles. All very sturdy, all very strong. And now that I think about it, none of them have facial hair.
Really.
Yes.
And here I was thinking I was a very unique breed.
Well, definitely unique in the sense that dwarves have beards, and being a half dwarf, you'd think you'd be able to grow at least a whisker. Which brings me to my next point. I have seen one mole with a beard, but it was temporary. He berserked or something. Someone made him very, very mad. And this huge, huge beard appeared on his face. And he was just a whirlwind of a hammer moving through the crowd.
Is dwarven beard just manifested like that?
Yes. I'm quite curious if you were trained properly, if you'd be able to do the same.
I'd like to know the same.
That being said, I would like to train you.
Sure.
Teach you how to properly swing that thing. And who knows? Maybe we can activate that for you.
Maybe so. I'd like to see the merits of that.
So would I. especially up close and personal. Now, I believe you were also told that you were supposed to go shop for a particular item in Salmon Ridge.
Yeah, evidently I'm supposed to ask for a new hat,
Yeah.
a chicken hat to be specific.
Yes, it's grotesque, to say the least.
So I was told.
But it was also done purposely. It has no price tag on it, and nobody has ever bothered asking how much it is. It's that ugly.
Well,
When
consider the
you,
craftsmanship that she's shown. I could see why people wouldn't want something like that.
yes. So if you ever do go to Salmon Ridge, make sure that Maria is the one working the counter.
Maria.
And if it's Maria, tell her that you would like to know the price of the chicken hat.
All right. Ask Maria for the price of the chicken hat.
She won't sell it to you. I'll tell you that right now. But she will know that you now know who she is. Maria is your sister. Whatever you do, until you find the man that is hunting you and disperse of him, do not let them know, verbally or by action, other than the price of the hat. Okay?
All right.
Now, are there any questions that I can answer for you?
Any word on my mother and father?
From my understanding, your parents are back and forth in Salmon Ridge. Your father is actually one of the fishermen for the village, and your mother runs the local tavern.
So they all stay in Salmon Ridge.
All of them. If you go to the tavern and you sit at the bar, the woman that's working the bar is your mother. She's the only tender there.
Sounds like my family's made quite a life for themselves.
They have. Uh, your father's going to be a little bit hard to recognize. He's one of two fishermen in the village. He's built like you. He's a very average height man with a very burly build. Your sister's craft has allowed her to make him a fake beard.
Fake beard.
Yes. Don't tell him, but it's made from the hair from a horse's ass.
I definitely won't tell him that yet.
Uh, just for your personal knowledge, your mother chose that particular hair for a reason.
I'm sure she has her reasons.
But all you have to do is go to the bar. You'll meet your mother. She knows who you are. She'll introduce herself as if she doesn't know you. Your father doesn't know what you look like, though. So whenever he comes to deliver the daily delivery of fish, she will introduce you to your father as if she's introducing just another patron coming through town.
This is amazing news. Like, this is by far more information I've had in years.
Well, I'm glad I could give you some kind of good news, and especially with everything that's going on right now. We all need a little bit of hope.
Well, had I not watched this the Spinotaur guy break the Ventus guy's arm, I probably would have never been here to begin with. What a weird turn of luck that turned out to be.
Oh, absolutely. Fate has its way of putting us on our proper roads.
Indeed.
So I will leave you with that bit of information. I'm going to have a nightcap and say good night.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Cheers. And with that, she walks away. And now we're going to move to you, Ventus. Or not Ventus, Zane.
Yo.
You have walked away from the table. Where are you heading?
I'm gonna head back into that that little private room area.
Where you guys originally started?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I've got that bottle of whiskey with me, and I'm just gonna kind of go into the room there, sit down at the table, and I'm gonna pull out my gun, and I'm gonna open the little trap door on my left arm that I have some of my tools in. I'm gonna pull those out. I'm just gonna pop the top on the whiskey bottle, take a swig, set it down. I'm just gonna proceed to break open the gun and start pulling it apart and cleaning it and all that.
Alrighty.
Just take me a few moments to really just kind of clear my head.
All right. Ventus, you have gotten outside. You said you wanted to go train for a little while. All right. When you walk outside, you recognize the uniforms on several of the soldiers. And they're Aroni soldiers. And they recognize you. And one of them approaches you and says, Ventus Fullrose. Man, have you grown up since the last time I saw you. It's been about 6 years. Forgive me. My name's Dakar. Yes. We didn't go to academy together, but I was one of the swordsman trainers at the academy. It's been a very long day for everybody. I know you guys just got into town, but you know, we're all trying to pick ourselves up right now. We lost about a third of our forces in that attack. It was a heavy blow. What are you getting into right now? Well, we don't have any training dummies at the moment. The training yard actually kind of got wasted in that attack. Tell you what, why don't you come with me? Techniques, and might even be able to teach you a rune or two. Oh, if you want to join me for a training session, I can introduce you to some of the gents that are here with the platoon, and we can work on some of your sword style and possibly even teach you a rune or two. I understand that completely. Meet with me in about 5 minutes. The smithy is right over there. It's about 10. When he points about northeast of where you guys are standing at, and about 15-20 feet away, you can see the open front of the smith's house. There's somebody inside, and right next to it, you can see the furnace, and it looks like it was just recently lit. So it looks like he's about to get some stuff taken care of.
I didn't realize my mic on my stream was off, but yeah, I'm actually going to just to reaffirm that so everybody can hear it. I'm looking to get some training done, and I'm looking for a blacksmith. So I'm going to head northeast. You said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to head northeast to the blacksmith, and I'd like to kind of take a look at what kind of gear and equipment they have, and if they do any kind of special orders for anything.
Okay. Well, as you get over there, the smithy sees you walking towards his furnace, and he steps outside of his house. He looks at you and says, "What can I help you with?"
So I'm just wanting to take a look at your swords and your armor. I just want to see what kind of stuff you have here.
Well, most of what I have right now is everything that I'm repairing.
So
I don't really have any product per se at the moment. We've been under siege for 3 days. I don't know when you got into town, but
today.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you need anything repaired, I can definitely do some repairs for you. I can sharpen some blades. I can take the dents out of your armor. One of my apprentices can clean up your armor if you need it. That sword on your hip, that wouldn't happen to be a Corvus special, would it?
Actually, it is. It is my mentor, Zane Corvus, actually made this for me by request of my father.
Yeah. I remember that sword.
So you know
Actually,
my father.
Oh, I know your father very well. Your father is actually the one that, well, Zane told your father he wanted to make it, and your father commissioned me to design that.
Oh, you designed my sword.
In a way, yes. Zane had some very specific details that he wanted done with it, and well, some of them we couldn't quite do, so Zane and I worked together on this.
Well, it's fine. It's fine work. It's probably the most unique sword I've ever held, and it does a lot of the heavy lifting for me.
Good. How's the flame rune working?
Actually, I use it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very useful.
Oh, I bet that's Zane's personal touch right there for you.
Yeah, it's probably the coolest part about the sword. No offense, the sword. It's weighted perfect. If you design that, you design the hilt, you design the handle, everything. It's perfect weight.
I'm glad to hear that. Oh, forgive me for not introducing myself. My name is Magnus.
Magnus, it is a pleasure to meet you. Magnus what?
Undersoul.
Magnus Undersoul, it's a pleasure. I am Ventus Fullrose.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely a full rose.
Son of the Iron Wall.
Man, that's a name we don't hear often enough.
Yeah,
But
well,
the last 3 days, that's all we ever hear.
I'll never live it down, I feel like, but
No, you won't.
I've kind
Not
of
until you outshine the man.
I've kind of been in his shadow for as long as I can remember.
Well, son, as long as you survive whatever the hell this is, you'll definitely be remembered.
Well, that's fine. There's more important things going on than what people know me by. I'm not worried about that.
Absolutely.
I want to be as strong as I can so I can help anybody that needs it. So the reason I was asking if you had any extra swords is because I was looking to get a secondary blade. But if you don't have any, then that's fine. I'll have to check back with you at some other time, maybe when it's not so hellish around here.
Well, Theo should be coming back into town here in the next day or two. And I'm pretty sure, regardless of whether or not Maygrove is attacked, that man always brings me something. If he brings me anything decent, I'll hang on to it for you.
That sounds good. Well, Mr. Magnus, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go find a place to train.
All right. I believe the soldiers are getting together for a sparring session, it looks like.
Oh, well, maybe that's what he was talking about. I'm gonna go run off and meet him. Thanks again, Mr. Magnus. I appreciate it.
Anytime. All right, now we're gonna hop over to Turok.
Old dude sounded like Dennis the Menace. Thanks again, Mr. Magnus.
So Turok, you are still sitting at the table with your brother and Darren, and your Cassandra walks over, taps you on the shoulder, and says, "You boys play nice. I will see you all in the morning."
Will do.
As she leaves.
I'm gonna take one long look at my shield real quick, just contemplating, like, going over everything that happened, me becoming a paladin unexpectedly, and just kind of compose myself
Okay.
for a second.
And Darn looks up at you and kind of sees that you're a little bit shook. And when he starts speaking to you, this catches you off guard as well. This is Turok. I know you don't know much about our family. And you probably think I sound like a blithering idiot this entire time. But I need you to understand I keep that facade for a reason. As long as these humans and dwarves see me as nothing more than a giant bull with all strength and no brains, I can pretty much get away with anything.
Right.
Now, while your brain is wrapping itself around that, Ruda is fully aware of exactly how I really am. She knows I'm not the blithering idiot that everybody thinks I am.
Obviously, she kind of knew you'd win that arm wrestling match.
To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised. I really didn't think Zane was going to pass out in the third round.
I wasn't expecting him to pass out. I was actually expecting him to lose, but just barely.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of hoping he'd win. I was in literal conflicts. It's like, I want to become paladin, but I also want him to win.
Yeah, well,
You get it.
I do. I get that completely. And just to put your mind at ease, Bruta doesn't have any apprentices anymore. She hasn't had an apprentice in years. You were literally her last one. She was just messing with your head to get you to actually choose whether or not you would support him in failure. And you did. That's why she made you a paladin.
What happened to her other apprentice? Did they become paladins?
Every single one of them.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting it this soon.
Well,
But it is what it is.
Bruta is very particular about when she lets somebody become a paladin. And you are one of the few apprentices that actually fought beside her during the war.
Right.
All of her apprentices prior to you, they came in, they trained, they learned, they're book smart. None of them were street smart. You had a bit of a background. You were a bit of a wild kid. But you were strong. You were sturdy. You were smart. And she saw that. And she wanted to groom that. And I think she did very well. I'm very impressed. Very impressed, little brother.
I take it that's why she had me away from there for so long, just basically running errands, keeping tabs on everybody, keeping an eye on just different little places, I guess.
Absolutely. She wanted to see if you were actually mature enough to be able to handle that much responsibility. I've never seen her do that with any of her other apprentices.
I'm pretty sure she's told you, and you know our background.
Yes. Which is why I'm assuming she told you.
It's a unique case.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming she told you to speak with me so you can learn a little bit about your stone skin heritage.
Yes, anything. I barely remember anything at all.
Well, you do know that our tribe, the Stoneskins,
Yes.
we lived on the Eden String Islands. Do you remember that much?
Not really. I kind of figured we were part of the tribe because of the marking on my left shoulder.
Well, the marking definitely signifies the tribe, but we weren't the only tribe.
Five.
We were one of 5 tribes.
Okay.
Now, us, the Stoneskins, we were on the island of Stayfall.
Okay.
There's 7 small islands that make up the Eden String. Stayfall is the 3rd smallest. On the Alien Islands is 1 tribe. On Gayhurst, there's 2. There's another tribe over on Wayward. Or Wywood. I'm so sorry. It's taken me a moment to remember some of this because I haven't talked about the islands in quite some time. There's 1 more tribe over on Anwerton. That being said, on the island of Shatat is the man responsible for you getting caught. Us getting separated. Kas. He has a citadel on the island of Shatat.
I have heard that name, but rarely.
Well, they call him Kos the Destroyer. They call him the Destroyer because he has sent bounties after every one of our tribes. It's not just the Minotaur tribes that he sent them after. He sent them after the Oxen folk. He sent them after the Satyrs, the Centaurs. He sent them after the Dragon folk, the Lizard men. All of our Beastmen tribes littered across those islands, and he sent hunters for every one of us. A lucky few of us managed to get away. And I'm thankful that you managed to get away somehow. How did you get away?
I was actually captured by raiders, hauled off to this continent, and I was a slave for a few years before I was intercepted by a paladin of the Black Falcon. What was his name? Had a few drinks. Let me remember here.
Was it Orem?
Yes, Orem Kelwood.
You're the
He's the-
Minotaur that he was talking about.
Yes. He's the one who pretty much kind of raised me and helped me start up to become a paladin.
Well, I'm glad he did. Well, the good news is Orm's still alive.
Where? Do you know?
Currently, he's out on mission. Not really sure where he's heading to at the moment. That information has been kept from us for the most part.
Out of character.
Yes.
If you remember, and I'm gonna double tap real quick. If you remember, we ran into Orem whenever we were on our way up here or down here. He was the guy that was there on the shore. General Orem Kellan. He was the paladin guy that was up on that shore.
Remember, he's the one who
Right.
sent you here.
Yeah.
So that was the assignment that he's on.
And Darren doesn't know that.
And Darn doesn't know that, but you do.
You do.
Again,
Or you,
I-
you're
Quite
slowly
a few
starting to
drinks.
remember.
Yeah, he's had a few drinks.
You know, now that I'm starting to get myself together, I did run into Orem.
Where? Where did you run into Orem?
A little bit south of Maygrove, towards Humbleton, I think.
Okay. Okay. Ow!
He actually sent us here.
Wait, is he heading north? Or did he stay behind?
I believe he stayed behind. I think there was something going on that needed his much attention, and us showing up out of the blue
Oh,
was just
so Orm sent you here?
unexpected. Yeah, and he was not happy when he saw us. Nothing we did, is just that something going on.
Okay, that
So
was going to be my next question. What did you do? But
No,
What did you do?
trust me, I thought I did something wrong. I head down, I was like, yes sir, and no.
okay, so good.
But
That
no,
means he's not mad at. That means he's not mad at the order. That means something else is going on, and he's probably going to be locking down wherever he's at.
And
Well,
like
listen.
I said, he sent us here.
Okay. Well, listen. I can give. There's a couple more things I need to tell you, and then I'm gonna have to actually leave for a few days. I have a mission of my own to take care of, but I wanted to tell you about our parents.
I was gonna ask about that in a second.
Our parents did not make it. Our father is the reason I got away. Our mother died trying to get to him. She was killed instantly. Father put up a fight. Our father was feared amongst the other tribes. He was known as the Bloodhoof. As every single being that went toe to toe with him ended up under his hooves. But he went down fighting just like he expects us to. So keep your head high. Don't let the loss of our parents slow you down. I smell war coming, and I need you at your best.
I will be, and I will continue training to make myself stronger.
And one last thing. Make sure Ventus survives whatever comes. Orm has been drilling his name in our heads lately. We don't know why, but there's something special about that boy. Whatever it is, Ventus's father thinks
You cut out for a second.
keep him alive.
You cut out. You want to repeat that?
Ventus's father thinks he is the key to winning whatever is coming our way. Keep that boy alive
Trust me.
at all
All my
cost.
All my life I will. Plus, Zane also kind of taxed me to that.
Good.
And I'm not going to let him down.
When you get a chance, tell Zane thank you.
I will.
I'm going to leave you with that, little brother. I'll see you in a few days if you're still here. And if you're not, just know if you can get a hold of a station to call out and you need me, you call and I will come. And
Will
I
do.
will bring hell with me.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
You have a good night, brother.
You too. Get some rest.
He grabs his drink, takes a quick swig, and he walks away from the table.
I'm going to get up and go back to the room where we started in.
All right. And we are back to the top. Lons. Is Lons with us? There he is. You hear the bell inside the building start to ring. And this is something that everybody hears. Ventus, you also hear a bell being rang outside. And the bartender says, last call. We're about to close the pub. The newcomers. Where are the newcomers at? Where's the bard?
Right here.
You're Lebec, correct?
One of the same.
Okay. The room to your left there. Beds have been paid for you guys for the evening. Make sure you guys get plenty of rest.
Oh, thank God, because I am beat. All this action is exhausting. That and the beer.
Breakfast will be served in the morning at 7 a.m.
Ah, magic words.
As he says that, all the other patrons inside the bar begin to leave.
Got the map up?
About to pull it up for you in just a second. Okay. And all of the servers begin to leave. Till it's just you and the bartender out on the main floor. Give me a quick perception roll.
Got 3.
Plus
Okay.
is, you know,
Even with the 3, as empty as it is, you kind of assume that everybody else probably went back to the table where you guys initially went to eat and drink. And you now know that the room is unlocked and available for you to go to bed if you wanted to go to bed right now.
It's actually where I would like to go.
Okay. And of the beds that are in there, which one would you like to take?
One closest to the door.
Closest to the door. Alrighty. Zane,
yeah.
it's on you.
Okay. So I'm pretty much finishing up cleaning my gun and everything and checking the calibration on it, making sure everything's working right on it.
Okay.
Making sure that the runes are lined up correctly and everything for the hammer, and checking the cylinder to make sure that everything's aligned correctly there, and that the quick loaders will work right whenever I go to put the ammo back in. And I grab out some of the white ammo, which is the magic missile.
Mm-hmm.
And I go ahead and I just load it into the gun with the click loader, and put the little chamber, the little cartridge thing back into my pouch, and load the cylinder back in.
Okay.
And I just kind of stare down the sights of the gun, like as I'm pointing it down at the table. And I pull it back up and I kind of point it towards the wall. Just in that, that familiar profile of holding the gun,
Yeah.
And then I do a little trick, a couple of tricks real quick, with spinning it on my finger and everything, and then I just holster it back.
All right.
And
As you
continue
holster
drinking
it,
out of the bottle of that continue drinking out of that bottle of whiskey
okay.
and
Well,
eating the bread.
as you holster your gun, you notice that the bartender has walked in and sat down at the table with you guys. And you also now realize that Turok is also sitting at the table with you. The bartender looks at you and says, Zane, I know you probably don't remember me, but I was here during the Battle of Trony Vale, and if it wasn't for your actions, I wouldn't be here today. I just wanted to let you know that you and your party have the rooms next door. There's several beds. It's paid for the night. Your tabs are covered. Breakfast will be ready for 7 a.m.
Appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Make sure you guys get plenty of rest. Theo should be here within the next day or two, and I'm sure he's going to want to talk to you guys before you leave.
Is my logger still on the table?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that.
All right. And he pulls out a bottle from his pocket. It's about the size of his hand, and he just kind of flips the top off of it and takes a quick swig out of it. And he looks over at you, Turok, and he goes, "You have got to be the luckiest Minotaur on the planet to be running around with Zane Corvus."
Come on, man.
I'm not sure if luckiest would describe it. Right, it's like an old man at times.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you need to look at it from this point of view. Many, many, many men and women have tried to travel with this man. And this man has turned quite a few people down. You should count yourself amongst the lucky that he lets you travel with him.
Well,
You clearly mean something to him. Whatever he's telling you to do, you keep listening.
well, I mainly look after Ventus when he's not looking. So, part of like a job, but not a job, but you know.
You're the only one that I trust to do it, is the reason that I make it so.
The bartender just kind of looks up with his eyes wide. He goes, "Oh, holy shit. Zane Corvus trusts someone."
I never thought I'd say the words either.
Well, cheers to that. He takes another swig. He says, "Gentlemen, I will be locking the front doors momentarily. I'm going to go find your boy Ventus and let him know that he should probably come in and grab a sack to sleep in."
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. And I look at Turok and I'm like, I meant what I said though. You're the only one that I trust to help me out with him.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure if you were around before everything started, but he wanted to arm wrestle Andoran really bad, and I got in a serious tone and told him no. Just letting you know I'm keeping my word on, you know, with him not getting too crazy.
Well, I appreciate it because I guarantee you that if Asher ever found out, you see, I don't actually like being the guy to tell him not to do all this crazy stuff. If anything, I always prefer to let people make their own mistakes. But at the same time, Asher, if I were the one telling him not to do it, Asher wouldn't have even told him anything. Asher would have just hit him outside the head with a freaking brick.
I check.
I've kind of experienced that a couple of times before I learned.
Exactly. So, I mean, as much as I'm sitting here being the old mother hen half the time, I'm really just trying to keep him from getting his ass beat. That's my primary concern.
But again, as I stated, he wants to get stronger and wants to prove that he's gotten stronger.
And I just kind of have this look of concern just kind of come over my face. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's going to come a day where the strength of that boy will be the only thing that keeps us alive. I just don't want him to have to face it yet.
I got a feeling that you might be right. By the way, thank you, but also sorry that you lost in that contest.
You realize she was going to let you be a paladin either way, right?
Probably so, but
All of
either way,
that grandstanding, all of what she was saying, all of it. I mean, it was meant to test you, but at the same time, she wasn't.
I was not expecting it this soon.
Yeah, well,
Not nearly this soon.
you deserve it, man. You've been fighting for this long, and you've really come a long way.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you around, brother.
Well, it's Paladin, sir, by the way.
If you really want to start with ranks and what they mean, I'm just going to look at you and be like, then do you want to start addressing me as Magna Obscura, sir? Is that how you really want to go about this?
Alright, well, it's all the same.
He's so high and mighty sage of all things. No, I'm not going to sit there and make you go through all that crap.
I will do small formalities, but I will not work the shaft, okay? Anyways, check it out. I'm gonna go to the room, down the last of this lager, probably call it a night.
No, you're going to sleep pretty soundly after that.
Mm-hmm.
I still have no clue where Ventus is, but I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah. He'll be back. He'll be fine.
And
Yeah.
with that, Turok, which bed are you taking?
The low one to the right.
This one?
Yep.
Alrighty.
I'm obviously gonna shed all my armor down to my underwear and pass out.
Alrighty. Ventus, we're back to you. You've been sparring for probably about 15, 20 minutes now. And while you're out there sparring, you've heard the bell ring, and you've heard an announcement that the tavern was going to be shutting down soon. And you see the bartender from the tavern walking in your direction. He's not really saying anything, he's just walking towards you. It doesn't look like he wants to interrupt you. And one of the soldiers, while you're sparring, says, it looks like it's going to be time for all of us to be calling it quits for the night. What I want to do real quick before you tuck yourself in for the night, I think you're ready to learn the fire and the frost runes.
You think so?
So, well, I've been watching you with your swordplay, and you're actually quite a bit like your father in your swordplay. Rather impressive, to be honest.
He is the one that taught me.
Yeah. And it appears you already have a fire rune on your sword. But we're going to do away with that little slider. Whatever you do, don't tell Zane that I took this off. And he reaches over and he pops it off. And he marks a rune into the hilt of your sword for the fire rune. And he tells you, grab the hilt and put the rune directly against your palm. Now, all you have to do is think fire. And as you do that, your blade engulfs in flames.
Wow, it feels more potent than before.
Yeah, and very natural, huh?
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about accidentally breaking the stone off. You don't have to worry about accidentally cutting yourself. Now you just think it, and it is done. And it's the same thing to shut it off.
Wow.
Now tomorrow, we'll pick up again, and I'll show you how to do the frost rune. And hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on another sword, because you definitely don't want them mixed on the same one. That could be a bad combo.
Well, there's something I want to try real fast.
Okay.
Before we go inside, I want to. Something weird happened yesterday right before we got here. There was some rune blocking technology or something going on that stopped the use of all runes when we were in the air. But for some reason, I was able to keep my sword working.
Really?
And then I snapped my fingers a few times, and I was able to get it to spark. I wanna try that again.
You want to snap your fingers?
No, I want
Do the step.
I want to do this and have somebody here to tell me. I want somebody to witness this, so I'm not crazy.
Okay.
So, what would I
go
roll?
for it.
What would I roll for that? Wisdom or intelligence?
Yes. We're going to go with wisdom.
Okay. And that's a +1 modifier. 16.
On the first snap, flames. And it's a steady flame, like a flame from a lighter. And when you do it, the man's eyes go wide, and he goes, "That's not normal. How in the hell did you do that?
I have no idea.
Can you put it out?
This is the first time I've ever done it. I don't know.
Close your hand. Make a fist. Okay, open it up. As you open your hand, the flame is gone. And he looks at you. Ventus Fulrose. Ventus Fulrose. I'm going to remember that name from this day forward. There's something special about you, kid. I don't know anybody or even heard of anybody that can do that.
Me either. I started to get kind of curious because of what happened yesterday. So I don't know what it means, but
If you want my personal opinion,
well, yeah. I mean, anything's good. For
I
that.
think rune magic has its own essence, and I think that's how Zane, the Sanguine Sage, I think that's how he figured out how to actually use them. He figured out how to use the essence. I think the essence is in you. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but I've never seen anybody do rune magic without the use of a rune.
Well, I'm gonna, I guess, keep practicing this. There's got to be some kind of significance, but I feel like the more I learn, the more questions I have.
I think we're all gonna have questions.
I need to show this to Zane. I'm sure he's gonna want to see this.
If he doesn't believe you, just tell him you've got a witness.
So I guess we'll wrap up training for this day, and I'll head inside.
Alrighty. So you go inside. The bartender kind of gives you a nod as you walk towards him. He walks in through the door with you, and he locks the door as you guys enter. And Zane is still sitting over here.
Still chilling out, Max, and relaxing, all cool.
Mic check.
Zane, there's something I need to show you.
Okay.
It's okay. I don't want you to freak out. I'm trying not to freak out.
As I grab my whiskey bottle and take another swig.
And I snap my fingers in front of him.
And this time, you don't even have to roll. This time, when you snap your fingers, the flame is instant. Zane, you see this flame, like a flame from a lighter, just floating above his fingers. In the palm of his hand.
Okay, so I just did a thing for like a will save and everything. I only managed to roll a flippin' 8. So I'm gonna say that I failed that.
Yeah, a little bit. You're definitely taken back.
So like I just taken a swig of that whiskey, and then like there's a flash of "don't do it" in his direction, and I just like take off to the side like. But at least I had the sense not to do it at the flame.
Yes.
Zane, I don't know what's happening to me, man. I don't know. I don't understand why I can do this.
What the hell are you talking about? You just turned yourself into a freaking human torch.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of anybody doing this?
No. You think I haven't tried? I think that, I mean, like, I've seen, like, everything whenever it comes to runes and rune technology, but nothing like that.
I feel like I just keep... The more I figure out, I just can't... I need to know. Is there anything you can tell me about myself that I don't know?
This is entirely uncharted territory, my friend. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I've studied manuscripts and religious texts and everything, going all the way back to the earliest parts of, recorded history, and none of this mentions anything regarding people that have just been able to just manifest godlike powers like this. And that's what this is it's damn near godlike.
I mean, did my father ever say anything about this? Like, or anything? Like, I mean, obviously he didn't say anything about this specifically, but surely he has told you something about me that I don't know. And he's never talked to me about it, but I know that they're not my blood relatives. I know Asher and Quinella are not my family.
They're not your parents, and
they're my family, but they're not.
But they're not the people that bore you into this world. You're correct.
I don't know anything about myself.
I'm not really sure if it's my place to say, but the only thing that I can remember, and this is going back, oh God, I'm showing my age. This is going back way before, just pretty much like just after the Sylvester conflict had really kicked off hard. There was a battle up in the north, and your father had went there, and this is after him and your mother had been married for a little while. And The only thing that I can recall is that he left without you and came back with you. Said that he found you on the battlefield.
On the, am I from Sylvestra?
Not necessarily, because this happened kind of right at the border, but it was odd. It was like you were there. You in the middle of all the chaos that happened on that in that northern battle. All that he managed to do was hear you in the middle of the night just crying out, and whenever he went in, found you, he said he found you and took you up, and then he just showed up back in Maygrove, and there you were. And within about another couple of days, I had showed up back in town, and he told me about what happened, and just basically swore me to secrecy and all this other crap. But I mean, there's no sense in trying to keep it all a secret now, except for between just me and you and these four walls and no one else as I look around. And I'm just like, honestly, kid, I don't know what to tell you other than, I mean, you were found, and he raised you, and we raised you as best we could. But I don't know much more than that. And without being that, back up there to really take into account all of what happened on that battlefield, I couldn't tell you. But there's a lot about this world that I'm still figuring out. And we've come across ruins and things of that nature that all point towards something having to deal with the fact that, there's technology that can control magic. There's that's something that, I think that as much as I came up with the idea, I don't think I came up with the idea. I think I stumbled upon something that was already there and just kind of brought it back into the world, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, since we're being real with each other, is the reason I'm asking if there was anything y'all haven't told me is because ever since we left, you, Turok, everybody has just been treating me like I can't protect myself.
That just, you gotta understand, it's not that I'm thinking that you can't. It's that I don't want you to have to face this until I know until you have to.
But if I don't face hardship head on, I'm never going to get stronger.
You've faced plenty already, but I think that before it's all said and done, there's going to be some things that you might not really want to have to be ready for.
All I'm asking is that y'all have a little more faith in me.
Well, there's faith in you, and then there's letting you throw yourself at a freaking 400-pound Minotaur, okay? As I try and make light of the situation for like half a second.
I get it. Okay, I get it. But Turok brushes me off. You brush me off. I'm really trying to get stronger. I don't want a repeat of what happened when I was a child. I'm not the same kid anymore.
And I look at you, and I look at your eye. I can see it in your eyes that you mean what you say. And so I say, if that's really how you want it, then be ready for tomorrow.
I want you to know something. I don't dislike that you want to protect me, but I want you to know that I am also strong enough to protect you.
I've been
And
trusting you
Turok.
this whole time to watch my back.
And Lons. I want to protect y'all too. I don't want special treatment just because I'm Asher's son.
Well, you're also my nephew. That's how I kind of view it. But any which way, like I said, if that's how you really want it, my friend, then just be ready for tomorrow, because I'm about to put you through the ringer. We're gonna see where you're at.
All
And
right.
then we'll see where you're going.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
I'm gonna head to bed now.
Now I say hold up, and I reach out my hand and I say, let's shake on it.
All right, brother. It's a deal. Thanks, Uncle Zane.
All right. You're welcome, bub.
And after you guys shake hands, you head on over to the room. And which bed are you taking?
I am going to take the bed in the corner.
Alrighty. Zane, that leaves just you awake.
Yep. I'm gonna stay awake for a little bit longer, but I'm gonna kind of go over to the. I'm gonna kind of go over to the fireplace with my bottle of whiskey. And I'm gonna take another swig, and I'm gonna set the bottle on top of the mantle.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of stare at the flames for a minute. I'm gonna be sitting there, and I'm gonna just be thinking about everything, and I'm gonna be like, and I'm just gonna barely speak it out loud. I'm gonna be like, "Gods know how I miss you, Saphira," and then I'm just gonna say, "Gods know how much I'm gonna miss our onboard child too." And then I'm just gonna kind of make my way into the other room and go and lay down next to Ventus.
He's stupid.
What's that?
Hey.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't see it.
He put your token on top of mine.
Hey now.
He said next to him.
You stupid, bro.
Wow, bro.
All right.
Just home is good night, bro.
So now everybody has made it to their beds and are going to sleep for the night. And this next piece is just for the viewers. As the heroes have laid down for the evening and you've heard their stories, now you begin to understand why they are fighting as hard as they are fighting. You've learned more about why Zane has become the Sanguine Sage and why he fights as fierce as he does. You now understand where his power comes from, and you understand why he is as strong as he is. You now know that Tudorok has a brother, and Tudorok has a bit of a checkered past, but his checkered past has made him strong. His enslavement has made him better. It has made him wiser. You also now know that the Bard's path was set on track by fate to make sure that he met with them so he can find his family. But you've also understood now that Ventus has something special about him. What is that special thing? Why is Ventus so important? Guess you're gonna have to show up for the next episode, huh?
Next time on Tales journey to Astera.
So I just want to thank everybody who came out to watch again. We very much appreciate it. Every ounce of support, every viewer, every donation, every single thing means the absolute world to us, and we are all extremely grateful for supporting this story that we have poured our life into for the last few months. So
Literally.
next week we are actually going to be taking a week off for Thanksgiving and everything else going on, but then the following Wednesday we'll be back at it harder than ever. Hey, but we hope you guys can tune in. If you want to check the VODs, you can check it out. They're all on YouTube. Just search up Hollow Lock, and they're all on my channel. And make sure you, if you haven't followed yet, make sure you follow me on Twitch. Check the Pico link that we have. What is it? It's Pico link, or is it something weird? It's picolink dot what?
PICOLINK. Give me just a second, because I don't remember the rest of the address off the top of my head.
And also, while he's looking for that, I'm going to say, if you guys get a chance, whenever you go into the the comments section and stuff like that, give us some comments, give us some feedback, let us know how we're doing, so we can keep moving forward and hopefully grow it up the way we want it to.
Yeah, I got one. Mic check.
I hate your face. Jeez, man.
It looks like
I'm trying here.
It looks like Lon's left us. But I'm going to go ahead and shout him out too. You can check him out on twitch.tv/GoHex with 3 X's. GOHEXXX. So you can find him on Twitch as well. And the Pico link will bring you to all of the Legend of Darkwater streamers and all of their content. And you can find...
And that is pico.link/LODW streamers.
All one word? Awesome.
Yep.
You can find us out on there. And the full VODs are available on my YouTube channel. It'll be the last 3 episodes. They're all labeled episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and so on. And they will be for the remainder of this series. So I just want to say one more time, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're very grateful for all of you. And I am grateful for all of you, gentlemen, for helping me do this, helping me tell this story.
Oh, we are very thankful for the opportunity.
Dude, hell yeah. Well, everybody, I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And make sure you eat plenty of dressing and whatever else it is people eat around the world. Turkey.
And make sure
Ham.
And make sure we all lose that game.
I'm gonna find a hole. I'm gonna put you in it, and then I'm gonna shoot you.
Oh, by the way, I didn't.
Hey,
real quick before we wrap it up.
But not with the green ammo.
I
I
was doing test rolls on the app, and I kept rolling shit. I was just testing it out, and I was like, no. So I went to my car whenever I got up earlier, which it happens that my wife was standing in the door in a unicorn costume, which is hilarious.
She's so special. I love her.
Bravo.
I love my wife, dude. She's so funny. But she posted a picture online. I was like, "What are you doing?" So I gave
Deadpool riding a unicorn.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I gave her a hug, and I went to my car and I went and got my dice. Because my other stuff kept I kept rolling like I rolled like 15 times, and every single time I rolled under 10, and I was like, That's when I said I wanted to roll and test a fire. I got my physical dice so I could actually roll above a 10.
Yeah.
BT Dubs, I actually have a sack of your other dice.
Do you? I've been looking for that. Is it the one in the scale bag?
Mm-hmm.
And it has
the
my
smexy ones.
Dude, I've been
Thank you.
looking for that. Dude, I went and bought more dice because I was like, I don't know where my dice is. But yes, I would love to get that from you.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a road trip.
Right.
A
Yeah.
road trip indeed.
Well, I need to see you anyway. It's been a while.
Right.
But yeah. But that being said, guys, everybody that's watching, you, and everybody else at home, I love you. We all love you. We hope you have a fantastic night. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. Take it easy, guys.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Woo. And peace. Here we go.